Blind Mike Geary.
All right. Everything's been working against us today.
That's okay. Okay, Blind Mike. This one is called, we're going to talk some Stuttering John.
All right. So we're finally getting into it. Guys, if you weren't with us earlier, we fucked up. There was just a glitch happening in the background.
Prove it.
We're back now.
Prove it. That video
You'll
does
never
not exist.
find it. I dare you. Try us, Cringer of the Week, you dickheads.
This was called banter.
Yeah, so let's get right into Stuttering John. Like I said, if you didn't hear my setup earlier, I'll set it up nice for it. Like I said, anyone that is watching this probably knows already. But Stuttering John had Pat Cooper's son on, because who better to have as an interview subject in 2024 than the estranged son of a dead 90-something-year-old comic? Why wouldn't you have that guy on? But hey, Michael Caputo, his storyline with his dad is interesting. So maybe John can find some nuggets. So they start, John, for all of his bluster, all of the pounding of his chest that he does, he's taking some tips from me and Carl, because he starts his show with banter, as we do. Now, the ball's on me to make fun of John. If you just saw our last episode, I've really got some cojones to make fun of John for this. But it is funny to just not address how ill-prepared you are for this interview at all.
Saga on the Stern Show was all in Pat Cooper's family.
Family Feud.
And it include you, Michael. And I know you said you emailed me that clip, so I should play it.
I emailed, play it if you want. Play it. It's on your phone also.
Okay. Okay, hold on.
No, John, don't even worry about having the clip ready. Why would you? Just look for it live on air. That's smart.
Sorry, I'm a little late. I was getting dicked over at the gym. I don't see it on this one.
Natural conversation. As Casey alluded to earlier, that is a very different connotation than I assume John meant it. But even beyond that, why would you start? Think of any interview show. Like, think back to the peak of Johnny Carson, if you were alive, or Letterman or Conan, all the great comedic interviewers. Or even not, think of Larry King and Mike Wallace and figures like this. Dick Cavett. Do you ever remember Dick Cavett saying, "Oh, sorry, Richard Pryor, my gym was fucking me over today." And that's why we didn't start at the perfect time. I'm sorry. I had an issue with a cashier at the supermarket. I'm sure you're interested in that. John is the worst. He's the worst conversationalist. Never mind if you were on a podcast. If you were on the phone with this guy, this would be nauseating to have to sit through.
This would have been great if the writers for season 8 of Game of Thrones had just came out and said, would have been better. We got dicked over by our gym.
Hey guys, sorry about the finale. Our gym was
fucking
just
gold.
railing the shit out of us.
Yeah, they're not wiping down the machines. These motherfuckers.
Is it on the other one?
On the email, you sent me the link to this show. It's also on your text message.
That's Michael Caputo saying, you have it at every possible turn, John. It's stunning that you're not finding it, actually.
You're missing this visually, Blind Mike, but Mike Caputo is giving testimony. Every time he talks, he leans in like, yes, Senator. It's fucking amazing.
Yes, I did send you the link, in fact, John.
Yes.
Wait, no, that's the legend. Hold on.
It's the legend.
Okay, here it is.
Good to bring that up.
Okay, so I'll now play this.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
So I'll just let you know. That, Michael. So, I went to the drugstore and I got so dicked.
Can you imagine a worse sentence? Like, this is Nana bringing up his day. He's going to bring up some dispute he had over pennies at the drugstore.
You really need to see, because this picture is amazing. It is a before and after. Like, on the left is pre-rehab, on the right is post-rehab. Michael Caputo looks like a post-rehab stunt Joe.
I had to go back there 4 times because between the doctors and the drugstore, they couldn't figure it out. So When I left at 11 a.m. this morning, I didn't get out of the drugstore fiasco till 1 p.m. to get my meds that I need.
Oh my God, John, are you okay?
Jesus Christ.
Because
John,
I'm on a
you know what that means? Like, you know who else deals with that issue is people in their 70s and over. And it's because, typically, they don't have a lot to fill their days. They're retired. And they kind of enjoy the excruciating minutia of every day. Like, this would be a story my grandfather would have told post-retirement, where that would be an interesting day for him, is getting into a beef with someone at the pharmacy. You're Nana Melendez now, John. You are an old lady who finds the mundane so fascinating because it happened to you. And you're making poor Michael Caputo sit there and go like, oh, I know, these drugstores. What is the point of this story? That we should boycott drugstores? Like, what is the point of you telling this fable?
Yeah, you remember Howard Stern's mom used to say, Howard, do one thing a day. One thing. Old people love to just do one simple thing a day.
Yeah.
John is high as fuck on Klonopin all day and can't do anything. It's amazing. No one talks about that enough. People, if you've never done a Klonopin, it's like drinking 12 beers. That's how he starts his day.
We just talked about Chris D'Elia, and obviously Howard did a tremendous service for broadcasting and a lot. He was very innovative with his show, and blazed a trail for a lot of radio shows and podcasts over the years. A tremendous disservice he did was, first of all, giving Stuttering John a job. But the real disservice that he did is making people like Stuttering John think every detail of your life is worth hearing about. We just talked about it with Chris D'Elia, where Chris D'Elia thinks he can talk about getting spam emails and make that interesting. And some people can. Like, Bill Burr can rant into a microphone, and I haven't listened to his podcast in a while, but at a time, like, you could just hear him go off on anything. It was interesting. Some people have that skill. John is not one of them. John actually has the ability that John has is very rare, and probably more rare than the skill Bill Burr and Howard have. John can rant about something, give you only his perspective, and make you empathize with the villain in his saga. He can tell a story about the asshole dicking him over at the gym or the pharmacy and make you go, God, I feel bad for this poor guy that had to deal with John.
Yeah, and if you want a fun game, next time you're at your doctor's house, ask them, hey, I have a friend with OCD and he takes Klonopin, and then watch their face contort into a weird smirk frown. It's amazing.
Well, what have you added? No, it's the worst case of OCD known to man. They studied his brain, and it's now in textbooks. People couldn't believe this brain.
Well, I do believe that. I do believe his brain will end up being studied in some lab somewhere.
That's a good
so
point.
he's got us there.
Benzo for OCD, and if I don't take it, I'll have a seizure.
Right.
What?
No doctor ever said that ever.
Michael Caputo doesn't know. He goes, right. Yeah, no, absolutely. Like he's a fucking OCD expert.
Get benzos. As I do whippets and drink beer at 10 in the morning. Father of the year.
I gotta say, maybe I don't know enough about OCD. So maybe I'm just thinking about the stereotypes of obsessive compulsive disorder.
Mm-hmm.
The way John lives his life, that throwing beer cans around, like just take the trip from California to New York, where he rode in a messy car and let cats shit all over the place. Does that sound like a guy who is obsessive and compulsive?
Yeah, don't get me started on the cat thing. I'm very sensitive to that. That's not how you transport cats.
I understand. But the cat thing in general, like having cat shit in your car, doesn't seem like OCD to me.
There's this, I don't know if you've heard this like audio clip of him describing his OCD morning about having to go and find his wallet and his phone because he put his phone in the second guest bedroom sink, and now it takes him 3 hours to get up in the morning because he's doing all this weird stuff. Like, there's stuff that goes on in this guy's head that we have no idea.
That's fast. I have not heard that actually.
Yeah, I'll give you that clip.
I didn't know he was doing that.
Yeah,
that's fascinating.
He breaks down his morning routine, and if he's doing that, I would find the nearest cliff because I couldn't live like that. So if he give me all the benzos if I'm living like that. But he just sounded like he was making it up. Is my point.
I wonder if he actually does it to make us all believe he has, like, if ever he's like, oh yeah, I forgot I gotta put my fucking keys in the refrigerator, so they think I have OCD.
We all got that one friend who fakes that injury for a really long time and sees those pills and hey, didn't you hurt your calf like 3 years ago? Oh yeah, man, every day it hurts. Get benzos, give me benzos.
All right.
And then I went to the gym because I got to go to the gym.
Oh, we're still on this. Jesus Christ.
You had to go to the gym.
We're still on his day.
Takes an hour to clean off one machine. He goes there and does one thing.
John, you have a guest. Stop talking about the gym.
I get it.
Here is the famous bit, all in Pat Cooper's family. I remember this all like it was yesterday. Granted, I have elephant's memory, but I do remember. I remember the whole thing. So here we go.
Why in that moment do you have to compliment yourself?
I don't know.
Like why there when you're about to play a clip that Pat Cooper's son sent you? Why do you have to compliment yourself and say how great your memory is? Like, I remember this like it was yesterday. I mean, granted, my memory is pristine. Now, if you bring up anything I've ever said that contradicts something I'm lying to you about now, suddenly I can't remember it. But when it comes to clips of Pat Cooper, I have an elephant's memory.
Yes, this next one. Hi, DJ Electrify. DJ Electrify.
Hey.
Oh, hi, guys.
How you doing, Electra?
Doing well. I heard you needed someone to come save the day.
Yes.
Craig was an ugly plight on this morning's show.
No, for me. I think she meant for me.
Well, Electra is a real ray of sunshine to have around.
Yes,
now.
she is.
Oh,
when
yeah.
I saw her come in, I was so happy. All right. This one is called Credit When It's Due. Or Where It's Due, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm sure Stuttering John is giving himself credit here. But it's just... by the way, they proceeded to... The clip they're referring to is a full 3 minutes where John plays it without commentary. Just plays it in full, a radio bit from 1994 or whatever it was, where it's Pat Cooper arguing with his family.
Guess who owns that audio, Mike?
So it was...
fuck you, serious. God damn it. Be consistent.
So it was audio from the Stern Show that John didn't get taken down for, unlike Unboxing Eric. Oh yeah, by the way, that was the other show. Go watch Electra and Hackride on Unboxing Eric Friday nights.
Gotta watch it live. It disappears.
Watch it live. Yeah, your series will take it down. But yeah, they play this full clip with no commentary. That's something John's great at. Is adding. He was so mad at these shows, he wanted to sue Carl and everyone for playing clips of his show. John plays clips and adds literally nothing to them. They're not transformative content. He just plays them and sits there and nods. But he plays this clip of Pat Cooper and then afterwards takes full credit for it somehow. This is amazing.
Yes, Craig likes to cut these up into nice.
That's
little
you on the
bits,
tape,
so-
right?
Oh yeah, well they took bits and pieces from the
Yeah.
3 parts.
Yeah.
My grandmother called in with Pat's mother called in.
Yeah.
I called in first, then I got my sister to call in, Pat's biological daughter, and my grandmother, Pat's mother, called in last. And they pieced together, edited together, and they made a parody. I don't know who made it at Howard's show. I don't know who.
Oh no, it was us.
It was all of you guys, right?
Whoa, hold on. What do you mean? Now this is very interesting.
Us.
Michael goes, I don't know who it was at Howard's show. Acknowledging, obviously, it was someone at Howard's show. And John goes, no, it was us. As if he's clearing up some confusion. Like Michael says, it was someone at Howard's show. I'm not sure who. John says it was us. Now listen to him backtrack immediately because everyone's going to call him out for the fact that it wasn't him. So somehow he's not part of us somehow. I don't know how that works. But he's gonna clear up any misconceptions you might have had right here.
Genius. It's genius. It's
Yeah,
genius.
I mean, I didn't have anything to do with it, but it was probably it was Howard, Jackie, Fred, and Billy West, probably.
You know, us.
Us. Yeah, like when America brings home a gold medal this summer, it was us that did it. I mean, sure, I wasn't there, but like, I'm in America. I'm contributing to it.
Yeah,
A horse's ass. Where every chance he gets, he takes credit for something. He says, I had nothing to do with it, but it was us. It was us.
Yeah, you know, this is not new behavior from this man. So, yeah.
Also, by the way, it makes me wonder if John, like, if you go listen to the bit, I didn't bother playing it because it was so long, but it just chopped up clips of the the segment where Pat's arguing with his family, and it's a voiceover guy saying like, "All in the Pat Cooper family." It's just like a classic radio bit. I don't think Billy West had anything to do with it. Maybe Jackie wrote some of the one-liners in between, but like, why would they bring in Billy West to make that bit? It makes me wonder if John has no idea how the Stern Show worked.
No, I just had to take credit for it first, and then we'll figure out things later.
Yeah,
Shoot first with credit, think things out later.
Frankenstein it back together, where he's like, oh, maybe it was Billy West. The important thing is I was there. I was in the next room while it was happening.
He does work backwards on all his stories. That is a great catch. It's always, I win. Now, how did I get here?
Oh, well, I heard him. And you know what? I was at a wedding this weekend, so I didn't know until your guys' intro this morning that I'm back in the lawsuit.
Oh, yeah, in a big way.
That's very exciting.
You didn't see it? You didn't see the clip?
I did afterwards. Yeah,
Okay,
it made me. I went and looked afterwards.
I didn't hear about this hula hoop contest. When did that happen?
Oh, he's afraid of me. He won't hula hoop against me. That's a fact. That's a fact, Jack. But no, I was listening to. I think people get it twisted sometimes because we get comments once in a while. I don't want to play the clips that Shuli has played of John like drunkenly rambling on about his kids, the Cape Meany and stuff. Just because it really has nothing to do with John. Like if someone sent me a clip of G.D. Fenderson shit-faced, didn't know he was being recorded, I wouldn't play it because I have no interest in that really. Shuli and Stuttering John have a whole different thing where Stuttering John tried to get Shuli fired. Like they have a whole different rivalry that I'm not about. So they're allowed to play whatever the fuck they want. I just wouldn't do it. Like people think I'm waving my finger at Shuli. I'm not part of their rivalry. So I just have no interest in playing those clips. But I'm fascinated by them. If you think I don't enjoy listening to them, I hope I haven't given that misconception because I always enjoy listening. I love gossip. I just personally have no interest in playing shit that I wouldn't want done to myself, you know?
Yeah, you're what they call a professional, Blind Mike, and that's how professional broadcasters do it. You punch with satire.
Yeah.
But the thing with Stuttering John is he'll drag a good man down to hell.
That's what I was gonna say. Is I was listening to a clip of Shuli. I think our pal Obnoxious John was playing it this morning.
OJ.
And I was listening to Shuli talk about the John, and he's like, John, while I was still working at the Stern Show, was making claims that I was giving him information that I wasn't supposed to be giving. Like, John was legitimately trying to get me fired. So I have no issue fucking with this guy. Also, John, Shuli didn't bring this up in the clip that I was listening to, but like, John goes after Shuli's wife and Shuli's kids, and he'll say that Shuli drew first. I don't know which blood was drawn first, John, but the point is you're down in the mud with these people. You're good. That's going to happen to you. If you're calling his wife a behemoth, then he's going to do things you won't like. You know, like that's just the nature of the beast. And it's the world that Stuttering John lives in, yet he thinks we should all play by his rules, even though he himself doesn't.
Yeah, I think the stuff John did with Shuli was a little more sadistic than that because, he was trying to get him fired, but really what he was trying to do was get Howard to change his mind on Shuli, to not like Shuli, to undermine a coworker like that, especially in comedy and satire, is really gross. John started this gross stuff with Gary. I think John and Gary, all this gross stuff that we're in now, like it's seed planted with those two. So John has been at this for 30 years. He knows how to troll.
Right. Yeah, no, I'm not offended. I guess that's the point I'm making. I'm not offended by anything that happens to John, even the stuff I wouldn't personally do, because John's kind of like begging for it. Like the idea that I'm back. By the way, I have a prediction, if you want to hear this. I have a prediction for how I'm in the lawsuit now.
No, okay.
Because that clip is very weird. I don't know if we have it or not, if Craig pulled it or not. But the clip is, John says, our good pal Drew Peeballs says, are you afraid of Blind Mike? Why isn't Blind Mike in the lawsuit anymore? And he goes, oh, his name will be mentioned in the lawsuit.
Yes.
So do you want to hear my theory?
You're going to be testifying.
Yes.
I'm not going to be testifying. I think what's going to happen is he's going to attempt to sue Shuli and Carl for playing the clips, and he's going to cite me and Tukey as damages, essentially. He's going to say, look, these other shows picked up on it and insulted me because of it. And these are the damages I've suffered due to that. More shows are playing it, and that has caused me, all kinds of distress and pain and maybe loss of money. I think that's what he's going to say. So I think me and Tukey will be mentioned in it, but not involved, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to need a lawyer.
Oh, no. I'm not. Believe me, I'm not worried about it. But I think in John, I'm trying to get inside the mind of John, which maybe makes me crazier than him. I think that's now what because I can't imagine any lawyer worth their salt saying that he has a case against me or Tukey, or even more so, Cardiff and Obnoxious John, who were on a show on someone else's channel that played a clip from Reddit.
Yeah.
So I think that's what's going to happen. I don't think any of it's going to happen, to be clear. But I think
he's got
John
nothing.
Yeah.
He's got nothing.
We always say it. It comes down to this. The second that lawsuit is filed, Tukey's attorney, Carl's attorney, they're making a list of documents they want John to produce. And if he doesn't produce, he's in trouble. And those documents that he's going to produce will be content for the next 10 years. John, do it, please. Please do it.
Also, let me ask you this. Your guy Luigi is a lawyer, right?
No, doxer. We got a doxer.
Oh, was I not supposed to say that?
No, he's fine with it. Yes, he is a attorney, a law. Yes.
I apologize if that wasn't public information.
It's okay.
But run this by him and see what he thinks about it. Is there anything you can do eventually if someone is like threatening a horseshit lawsuit on you every day for a certain amount of days? Is there anything you can do in retribution? Like, is that some kind of harassment?
Well, let's climb into Blind Mike's head now and find damages. Mike, has your life been has you got to find ways that Stuttering John's words have impacted your life in a negative way? I mean, you already had to go into your other show that I don't watch and talk about it and call the FBI, but I don't watch that. So that's adversely affecting
you wouldn't know
life.
anything about that, but
I
I
know nothing about that. But Twitter exists. So, but yeah, so you would start having to, and there are ways that it could impact your life. You might not get a job because someone Googles Blind Mike and they see he's getting sued by that guy from Howard Stern. Oh, I don't want any part of that. So there are things that can keep you out of.
Also, I have all kinds of mental health issues, and this guy's saying he's going to sue me every day. Hasn't been great for that, but we don't have to get into that.
You're
right
a handicapped American. What is he doing? Yeah.
Well, it's neither here nor there, I suppose. We'll get into that at another time. Let's get back to this Michael Caputo interview.
At lunch, did you ever talk to him again?
Not until about 7 years before he passed away.
And was it amicable?
And well, it was facilitated by somebody.
Is this a big reveal?
Yeah, and by the way, if you're a big Howard Stern fan, that's a great reveal too, because when Pat Cooper would be on the Howard Stern show and talk about his family dysfunction, to know that there was this meeting is after 7 years, that would have been a great show. Well, Pat Cooper family reunion.
This is what's interesting. So John's all excited because this Michael Caputo says, "Hey John, I've got a big nugget for you. I've got something I've never told anybody." And John's excited. He thinks he's got a hot, all the TikTok is always a buzz about what new Pat Cooper news there is. John thinks he's got something here. And this Michael Caputo offers the biggest dud in broadcasting history. He's like, John, buckle up here. Get ready to be disappointed.
Who?
You really want to know?
Yeah.
Can I bring her on?
Yeah.
Hi, John. Remember me?
Hi, how are you?
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
John's going, yeah.
Look at his face. Oh, my God.
Oh, it's you. Oh, you. I've missed you.
You rascal.
Come on, sport. Get in here.
Wow.
It kind of looks like a cross between DJ Electra and Elizabeth Warren, this one.
Confirm this for me. John kept saying she looks like Sharon Stone. True or false?
Well, maybe.
A little bit.
Now. Okay. Not in that chair, no.
It was probably 2013 when out in LA with Jackie. You took us to the Leno show. Remember that?
Yeah. Holy shit.
So I'm his stepmother.
Oh, wow.
What?
Wow. You look beautiful.
Well, hold on. We'll
Thanks.
get to creepy John in a moment.
Oh,
But
you know he hit on her 13 years ago. You know it.
well, it's funny you say that. We'll get to that in a minute. But John couldn't give less of a fuck. I also had no idea that Pat Cooper was married or that his wife facilitated a meeting between him and his estranged son. John didn't know or care about any of this. Yet he's such a terrible actor where he's like, oh, yes. Oh, yes, you. Oh, that's so exciting. I'm so glad to have both of you on. But what is nice for John is that now he has a woman to hit on during the interview. So that's I was worried we weren't going to get to that today.
Everyone, please gaze at Michael Caputo lovingly right now. Look at this still shot.
I got to say, Michael Caputo is not like, if it wasn't for making fun of John, I'd be making fun of this Michael Caputo guy. He seems like kind of a dick, if I'm being quite honest. A bit of a grifter based on what some of his books are about, but that's not for today's discussion, really.
He's like one of those humans that you see the white around the entire part of their eyeball. They're
Yeah, he's
open
got
that
bug
big.
eyes.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
He's runaway bride eyes. Here we go. What a pull.
Wow. Wow. You look beautiful.
Thanks.
You haven't aged.
You haven't because I only know you in the last 30 seconds. This is how you've looked your entire life.
I didn't age in that 3 seconds I've known you. Yeah, that's amazing. I didn't watch this one, and so this is fun for me.
John really, and like, we always say this, but with Howard Stern, he's like, he would hit on women, often like in a incredibly crude way. But Howard had a charm to him where the girls would almost be like kind of like into it. And so, I'm sure sometimes they weren't, by the way. But like there was a charm to Howard a little bit that made it less creepy. John just fucking, you look beautiful. It's like, Electra, does that turn you on at all? Is that
Not
are you
at all.
sliding off the chair?
No.
How did you know about her sliding off the chair stuff?
You
watch
look
our show.
beautiful, Electra.
I'm sliding right now. What?
She's a slider. You need to put sandpaper down sometimes when she's sitting, just so she stays in the seat.
Well,
right,
with
this
moves like John, it's impossible not to.
Yeah, we got another one here. It's called "What a Charmer."
Well, you get to see more of creepy
More of
John
this.
here.
Amazing.
So many questions answered, John. That was like a puzzle all these years. And this woman, my stepmother here now, that's part of this family, my family now.
It's
is the
creepy,
one-
by the way. Again, we're not here to criticize Michael Caputo. It's very creepy for a 67-year-old man to point to like a 57-year-old woman and be like, my mommy is here today. It's very weird to watch.
It is.
We're getting into some kink stuff here, I think.
One that helped pull me and my father together when nothing I've ever did in my life could ever do it.
Wow. Well, let me put her back on for a second.
Yes, right
Put
here.
tits back on.
I'm going to give you a big hug. That's very kind of you to bring them back together.
Oh my
Well,
god.
it was-
Electra, gushing yet?
Oh yes.
You were dismissive
You know it.
before, but now imagine that. Electra, close your eyes and imagine you're in the bedroom. And you hear that voice.
No.
Oh, I want to give you a big hug. Mwah, 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 mwah.
I would
his
more
most
likely get up and
disgusting-
run than slip off my chair.
His voice in general is disgusting, but he puts on an even more disgusting voice here.
He really does. He really does.
Let me hear that again.
The previous one?
Yeah, let me just hear the end of that.
Okay. Well, give me 1 second. Craig
Oh,
is,
if
like
that's
a little
possible.
individual. No, yeah, we will get there. It's a little different on my screen. So
But this is John, like, tactless, clearly trying to lay the groundwork of, like,
This
do I have a
family-
chance here?
My family now is the one that helped pull me and my father together when nothing I've ever did in my life could ever do it.
Wow. Well, let me put her back on for a second.
Yes, right here.
I'm going to give you a big hug. That's very kind of you to bring them back together.
Well, it was,
Oh, God, John.
I want
Mwah.
a kiss. Yeah, you missed the kiss.
Yeah. It's really, no one knows that you're hitting on this woman now, John. You're very smooth.
Did I tell you about my chocolate covered cherry?
Gross.
Do you know about his chocolate covered cherry, DJ Electra?
I think so. Yeah.
Is that hemorrhoid related?
Are you talking
Yes.
about a hemorrhoid? Yes.
That's what he calls his hemorrhoid.
Oh, is that what he calls it?
It's what he calls it in public to other people.
He's such a ladies' man.
All right. Next we got invite yourself.
Oh, yeah. So there's an event. So they're having a memorial event for Pat Cooper. And you know how it's always very natural if people are talking about a party or something they're going to. And everyone loves it when just an outside source goes, "Can I come to that? Would you mind? I got nothing going on that day."
Here we go.
Celebrity Path. And then for his birthday next week, we're doing a private event here in New York. I'm sorry you won't be here at the Italian American Museum, which is reopening.
Oh,
and
nice.
Joe Piscopo is
Hold on, real quick, by the way. John never says he won't. They don't ask, like, "Hey, John, could you be here?" They're just like, "Hey, yeah, sorry you won't be there," meaning don't try and come.
Yeah. Obviously, you're not invited. That was what she said.
You're not on the guest list because I'm mentioning we're sorry you won't be there, even though no one invited you.
Somewhere right now in New York, Joe Matarese's ears perked up. He doesn't know why. Italian
American.
Comedy event? Italians? What?
Me and Jimmy Webb's wife, Laura Savini, and
I might even be there because I have to file a counter. I got to do a counter lawsuit against some lunatic.
Hold on. There's so much there. There's so much there. First of all, that was kind of the first time he really acknowledged Vince. He's done it in days since this, but he acknowledges the lawsuit with Vince really for the first time, just out of nowhere. They have no idea what the fuck he's talking about. But also, Electra, let me ask you're a lovely woman. If you invited me to I'm sorry, not invited me. It would be a silly word. If you mentioned you were having a party that I'm not welcome at, and I said, "Hey, you know what, Electra? I'm actually countersuing someone in New York. So maybe I could fly up and attend your event." What a fucking turn. No, John, we don't want you there. And you getting into litigation with insane people doesn't make me want you there more.
Exactly. It would not make me want to invite him. No.
Oh, good. You're countersuing someone. Then please come to my event for my dead husband.
He's a trip and fall lawsuit everywhere he goes. You can't have him in the building. You just can't.
I got to do a counter lawsuit against some lunatic. So I
Next
might
week?
be there.
next week.
It's next week.
Well, it's on his birthday. Yeah,
What?
July 31st.
Just in general? You thought just they were having an event and they would kind of just wait for you to be in New York.
You let us know, John.
Yeah, it's no particular date. Just whenever you're around. We were going to go down to the Italian American Club and have a Pat Cooper event, provided that you were in the state of New York countersuing. John, obviously, don't embarrass us. Obviously, we were going to ask if you were countersuing anyone that day.
You know, they could put a 95% Italian or only inter, and Matarese would be hanging outside just yelling at the building because of his 93.7.
You know, Pat Cooper said I was really funny.
July 31st, Wednesday,
Yeah.
next Wednesday.
Okay.
I can't sue anyone that day.
That's my day off from suing. It's the
Too
Sabbath.
soon, too soon.
Suing Sabbath.
You found the one day I'm not suing anybody.
All right, up next is Tammy's husband.
Okay, so Tammy Pescatelli did if you don't know, she's an Italian-American comedian. She did a podcast with John very, very, very briefly. And I guess she's friendly with John. She knew Pat Cooper, I guess. And that's enough for this segue. So he brings up Tammy Pescatelli and is like, "Are you close with her?" And this woman, Emily, Pat Cooper's wife, is like, "She's nice, I guess." And then you just see magic happen, broadcasting magic.
Is Tammy Pescatelli coming?
I haven't heard back from her yet, but I'm going to follow up with her.
Because she loved Pat.
Oh, I know. I talked to her right
John,
after he died.
stop inviting people to this event. They've invited everyone they want there.
Can Tammy bring a +1?
Yeah, and I
Hey,
love her.
can my butcher Franco come? Stop inviting guineas that you know, John.
Oh my God! Wouldn't you love to interview Jay Leno and be like, "Hey, how many times has he just brought people by your car place?"
Oh, Leno, are you Italian? Do you want to go to Pat Cooper's event?
She's great. We'll see if she's in town.
She's a doll. Do you know that her husband and I were good friends in Tony and Tina's wedding?
Who would know that? Who would know that fact?
Really?
Was that on Jeopardy at all during Alex Trebek's run? This man is friends with Tammy Pescatelli's husband during the Tony and Tina days.
The only thing I remember from Tony and Tina is that you kissed Fred's wife and he hated you forever for it. He still hates you for it.
Who would possibly know this fact, John? Even if this woman obviously is not very close with Tammy Pescatelli. Apparently she invited her to this event and never heard back. But let's say they were thick as thieves. They're best friends. In what context would it come up with this woman, Emily? Hey, do you know that my husband was in Tony and Tina's wedding and is therefore really close with Stuttering John? By the way, I think John's run in Tony and Tina's wedding is, 25 years ago?
Yes, easy. Yes.
So why bring that up now? I have no idea, but you'll be amazed. She wasn't fully aware of that.
Yeah, this guy likes to bring up things from the past, I've noticed.
Have you noticed that? I'm just finding that out.
He's subtle about it, though. You
Yeah.
gotta really pay
Histrionic,
attention.
even.
Yeah.
Friends in Tony and Tina's wedding. That's
Really?
yeah.
No,
So I'm good friends with her husband. You know, Luca.
That really
No,
that
I've
she
never met
gives
him.
that was the perfect. That should be the universal. I could not give less of a fuck about what you're saying. It was so like, oh really? Like she's trying to be polite, but couldn't even muster pretending to care about this horrible fact that John has unleashed on her.
He, like, psychologically, if you're going to break it down for a second here, why I think he identifies these moments and then tries to align himself is that these people will then just accept him without any looking at him. We don't have to look at you. We don't have to look at your friend. Oh, you're a friend of a friend. All right, John's in the group. That's sort of how he sidles up to every group.
Here's how a normal conversation would go. Emily would bring up would say, you know who's invited to this event? Tammy Pescatelli. And John would say, oh, okay, I'm very good friends with her and her husband. And Emily would say, oh, that's well, most likely she would say, nice, and just move on. But let's pretend she says, how do you know him? He would say, oh, well, I don't want to get too much into it because it's incredibly boring, but we happen to both be in Tony and Tina's wedding together. And he really liked me. Here's how this conversation went. Do you know Tammy Pescatelli? Kind of. Her husband really likes me. Okay. Well, if you're not interested in that, it may interest you to know we were in a play together. And that's why he likes me so much. Really? Okay, John. Nice. Can we move on now?
So you should like me. Do you want to spend 3 days at my house?
We're here to talk about this horrible Pat Cooper event. Can we get back to it?
No, I've never met him.
Oh, because he's a comedian as well, and he's pretty funny, but we were really good
She's
friends
never
in
met
Tony
him,
and
John.
and
John, you're talking about someone she doesn't know.
I'm going to be inviting him as well.
You might as well have said, hey, Emily Cooper, do you know Casey Day? What relevance does it have to the conversation?
Closer. I at least know Wendy, some people from that universe, closer than this shit.
Yeah.
That's Tammy's husband.
Well, we
Just a reminder, that's Tammy's husband. The one rule Carl had that I remember in podcasts, if it's a phone call, it ain't a podcast. If you're talking like this, that's a phone call. It's not a podcast, John.
Even further, Emily's doing the classic thing you do when someone's rambling like this on a phone call and going, all right, well, it's like you want to hang up. You're just like, all right, the conversation's wrapping down now. You can tell by my voice. I'd like to get the fuck out of here. Oh, you're going to keep me on for another hour and a half? Good. I was hoping. Good.
Yeah, she's regretting doing this whole show at this point. She wants it over.
She came on just to go, for Michael Caputo to go, do you know I have a mommy now? And John would go, oh, nice. And she'd go, hey, John, how's it going? And then she would walk off into the sunset. And she's stuck here for 2 hours.
She got more than she bargained for.
This one's called Italians.
Oh, good. I like to hear more about the Dagos.
Why did he? I know he told Howard, but why did he change? I know why. I'm pretty not much to guess the answer, but why did he change his name? Was it because of the Italian hate at that time?
It wasn't about the hate. His
She's
manager
like,
said,
no, not even close, actually. He's like, I could guess the answer. And she's like, well, actually, it's not even remotely close to that. But,
I had a question and I answered it, but go ahead. That was a
You know-
really weird.
you know, when Pat Cooper was coming up in stand-up, all the Italian hate, like Frank Sinatra wasn't able to have a career. The Godfather, The Godfather wasn't a hit in theaters to the point where they made 2 sequels. You're right. During Pat Cooper's career, the Italians couldn't catch a break.
And Joe DiMaggio. Hey,
Yeah.
the name Caputo is just not going to work for you well. But now, like with Sebastian Maniscalco, for example, I mean, it's not a problem.
No.
But his manager made him do that. He said, how about Cooper? Caputo is not going to work. Let's try Cooper.
It didn't bother Dom Herrera.
Hey, hold on. First of all, different era, totally different situation. Pat Cooper was a Catskills comic. Dom Herrera came up in Philly. Also, Caputo would be harder to spell than but whatever. But okay, that's one example. And I gotta say, do we know it didn't hurt Dom Herrera? Who's like, if you're a big comedy fan, you know the name.
Yeah.
But like, he was in an episode of Seinfeld and an episode of Everybody Loves Raymond. He's not a household name,
Yeah.
But let's hear John's next example, which Dom Herrera might not have been great, but obviously he's on point and is totally tracking what they're talking about and has another good analogy.
And if you looked up shit-eating grin in the dictionary, this is the face. This face that John's giving us right now.
Hey, it didn't hurt Dom Herrera. If yes, Dom Herrera, his career went exactly how he anticipated.
It's the most punchable version of John's face right here. I just got to say it.
Okay.
So, and Andrew Dice Clay is always a fake Italian, isn't he?
No, that's the most fascinating part to me. What does that mean? What the I know what it means. I know that people thought like Andrew Dice Clay was Italian. He's Jewish. Isn't that crazy? In this context, what the fuck does that mean? Pat Cooper, his real name is Pasquale Caputo. He changed that because people would be like, his name is fucking what? People wouldn't know. It doesn't go great on a marquee. So he changed his name to Pat Cooper. John's example is, well, hey, Andrew Dice Clay, perfectly easy name to say and spell, is always a fake Italian, right? John, I need you to play that clip on your show and explain to me what the fuck you meant by that. Because it doesn't make any goddamn sense.
And it's also awesome. Somewhere out there in New York, another twinge goes down the back of Joe Matarese as they come up with Italians to name and run out at Andrew Dice Clay.
He just wanted to acknowledge that he knows who Andrew Dice Clay is. Why bring that up?
I'm just going to say words. Einstein fart knuckle.
It's like if you were talking, I mean, there's a million examples of people that changed, that had a Jewish last name, a very hard name to spell. It's like if you said Jeff Ross changed, his real name is not Jeff Ross. It's like if you said, yeah, Jeff Ross had to change his name because he thought it was, it would be too difficult to spell or wasn't easy enough to remember. And I was like, a lot of people think Mark Norman's Jewish. Oh, right. Yes. Very good. I guess that's true.
All right. Up next, Blind Mike, we have one called Disappointing, which is this should be titled this whole thing.
It's the whole show. But yeah, let's see what this specifically is about.
I'm puzzled, and this guy's going to just chip at me. My shitty internet provider thinks $2. Pat Cooper was a better father than me. Got it.
John, why are you reading the chat? Why are you disrespecting your guests? And I know the answer is he needs the super chat on and all. If John could have the super chat running 24 hours a day, he would, because that's his source of income. But and he doesn't feel guilty bilking these people for money. But John is saying, like, hey guys, I don't respect you enough to turn off my fucking super chats or just not read them. You can have them up, by the way.
Right.
Like, I assume super chats are up right now.
Yeah.
If we had a guest on, we wouldn't be interrupting them to read. Like, hey, this guy thinks you're not really blind, Mike. Like,
All right.
okay.
Jump on the psychology train here one more time. The reason, in my opinion, he's showing these is to show these people, look, I make money. Look at the $2 I made right here.
Oh, that's interesting.
He's show and tell. And then he's also like, look, they care about me. They rip on me. They call me a shitty father. See, I am the embattled warrior here. It's all this narrative that he likes to weave.
Your second option there is a little closer to where I thought you were going. I thought he's like, these people are going to say I'm a shitty father. I thought he was doing, because John likes to play the victim.
Yes.
And I think he has it up to be like, you see how terrible these people are to me? You see what I endure?
Yeah, but they pay me.
But they pay me.
3 days
you know what? It's
with
probably a mix of all three. There's probably a little of all of that.
Either way, it's just embarrassing because someone said S on my D to him, and he just read it out loud in front of these people.
Yeah, and he ain't reading free chats. So,
so, Michael, you said you had some ground, like something that you've never revealed before about Pat, that you were going to tell today.
Yeah.
What is
Emily?
Oh,
Emily.
John's so disappointed.
Oh my God, he missed the whole point.
He missed the entire thing.
Wait a second, I'm just missing it. Hold on.
You know what? I got to sympathize with John a little. It was a terrible reveal.
It was. Just like, I'm lost in his giant white around his eyes. Quit staring it through my soul, you bastard.
Who could possibly give a fuck? It's not an exclusive. I'm sure in Pat Cooper's obituary, it said he was married. Like, who gives a fuck? But, Michael Caputo, it's fine. He's like, I have a mommy now. It's very exciting. So he's very happy. But John is so utterly disappointed. He's like, oh, okay. So yet another, in my comedy of errors, yet another failure.
How do I make this look good for me now?
Oh.
Emily. Yeah. That's me, Emily.
Oh.
Now I got a stepmother.
Oh,
that's I got a family now. I got a family because all Pat's family's all.
Just don't ask where my hands are, John.
John trying to fake laugh. Maybe if I laugh enough, people will think this is interesting. Who cares? Michael Caputo, who could possibly care that you have a stepmother? Hey, guys, I have a stepfather. Are you wowed? It's pretty interesting. I never really talked about it on this show. So
you have a stepfather?
Something. I do.
I got a stepfather.
Oh, my God. Are you revealing that here now?
I am.
It's a big reveal.
Oh, my God. Get him out here.
My mother's fucked 2 men that I know of.
Oh, my God. That's very exciting.
That I know of.
That is essentially like Michael Caputo's big reveal was, hey, my father was banging a lady much younger than him. Isn't that cool?
Isn't that cool? Not me. No, not me. My dad. This one is out. This one's called Number One Dad.
Yeah.
Well, you know what they say, speak ill of the dead.
Happy that you got to end it on good terms,
Right.
Because it's funny, while I listen to how Pat never attended any of your graduations and anything, I'm sitting there going, I've attended every one of my kids' track meets, soccer matches, baseball games, softball games, award ceremonies.
Why would you say that to this man? Well, just like, it's crazy that your father didn't really love you because I'm a really good dad. It's wild.
Wow.
I went to these things even when I was not invited, and they told me specifically to stay away.
You probably wish I was your dad. Emily's your mommy. You probably wish I was your daddy.
They put me in the bleachers 3,000 yards away.
Graduations, recitals, you name it, and then you have the other way around.
How about their wedding, John? Were you invited to that?
Now they hate you.
Well, a lot of that, John, to be very honest with you, my father had met somebody in 1960. He was cheating on my mother when my mother was pregnant with my sister. And a lot of that.
I knew she was going to give him the look. Okay, so you don't sit there and talk about your dad's cheating on women with your new mom next to you, and she finally gave him the look, Mike. Like, what? Well,
it's all great because John has no. He's like, I think John thought that this would devolve into Michael Caputo going, oh, well, you Rupert, you were right. And that's all John's life is. Where he thinks Michael Caputo is going to go, John, God damn it. I wish you were my dad. That would have been so great if a great dad like you. But obviously, naturally, Michael Caputo's instinct is to be like, yeah, well, John, I mean, that was all very tough for me. I'm glad you brought up my father not being there in my life. And there's actually, surprisingly, you might be surprised to believe this, there's a negative backstory to all of that. There's a lot of baggage that went along with it.
Distancing facilitated that. She tried to drive a wedge for 35 years between me and my father.
Why?
She kept him at it. Now, I know it takes two to tango.
Why? John's like a little kid.
Can I get candy now?
What do you mean, wedge? You mean divorce, not go? Oh, John doesn't understand because his divorce went so swimmingly. He can't imagine why Pat Cooper and this lady would have a dispute.
You didn't just kick your kids and wife out? That's what I did.
To do it. So if I would call Vegas, she would always answer the call, say he wasn't there.
Why?
Because that's who she was.
Jesus.
That's who she was. Now I got a stepmother like this, so this is like an angel from God. My father's gone. She's gone.
She's younger than you. Stop calling her your mother.
So weird. So weird.
You know, she had a lot.
I'll tell you this: if I get a 34-year-old mom, that's not good.
Hello, mommy.
Mom's got perky tits than girls that I date. Goddamn.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And where do you live now?
I live in Brooklyn.
Oh, so you're in Brooklyn?
My father's remains will also be in Brooklyn at Greenwood Cemetery.
Oh, okay.
Can I come?
I'll be there. I'll help you carry it.
He's out of there now. And we'd be putting him in Greenwood, the famous Greenwood Cemetery, with the other celebrities that are buried there. And they have
ashes, you mean?
God, this guy's a psycho, Mike. This Michael Caputo is a full psycho.
Well, Michael Caputo's a terrible guy. And like kind of it seems like not a great guy. But again, we're not here to shit on Michael Caputo.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Yes, that's correct.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Wow.
We've done.
John, he just told you his like entire life was a disaster. You have literally no follow-up question?
No, he said, wow, Mike. I think that
Wow.
covers it.
Wow. Moving on. How do I get this back to me? What a great dad I am.
The Americans have just beat the Russians on the ice. Wow.
John's thinking right now, like, wow, would it be rude if I said, like, wow, I never did any of that to my kids? That's crazy.
That would be amazing.
Done a lot. We've done a lot the past 13 months.
Here's a question.
Because of this woman right here.
Here's a question from Hunter Biden's crack pipe. Thanks for the fiber. Don't worry, all these guys are, they have all these crazy names.
It's okay. Let them ask me anything they want. I'm open to answer.
Mr. Caputo, has Shuli Agar tried to get you on his show?
No, I don't know who Shulegar is.
Nobody does. Whatever you do, don't go.
By the way, that's forever your name for me now, Shulegar. It's one name. It's Shulegar, everyone.
On Pat hated him. No. You know what it is? That's what I was telling you in the car earlier, Michael.
This poor bastard, Michael Caputo, had to sit through a pre-interview with John.
In rehearsals.
Where John is telling him about the Dabble verse.
Hold on, let me try it again. Wow. Hold on. No, that wasn't good. Let me try it again.
You got to put that wow, like all the greatest sports moments of all time, like the Kirk Gibson home run, Adam Vinatieri against the Rams. You can put John's wow.
A giant blip in the 40s going up in flames. Wow.
The Red Sox come back against the Yankees. John, wow.
JFK assassination. Wow. We do it. What we do is we have the towers fall, and he's saying it while he's watching that fucking
Swordfish.
movie. Yes.
Him with his feet up watching Swordfish.
And he's not even saying wow at the buildings. He's saying wow at the tits on the screen.
Yeah.
We've just
Halle
done
Berry.
it. We've done it.
I guess I had mentioned like a month ago, I'm going to have Pat Cooper's son on, and I'm very excited. And then Shuli, who did he did a stint on Howard Stern, but he didn't do anything besides weighing the excrement of two fat guys, whackpackers. But then he was trying to get.
Whoa! Hold on. What does that mean?
She's smiling. She seems to like where this story's going.
Good for her.
You on the show to stick it to me, and
Nobody. I don't even know who the guy. Nobody contacted me, John, except you. You're the only one that contacted me.
Oh,
that,
good.
by the way, is a great moment where John will tell you, and he probably still will be like, "Oh, they all harassed Michael Caputo," and Michael Caputo's, no, John, no one ever fucking whatever you're saying, like, actually didn't happen. And now Michael, he's like, hey, he's being supportive of John. He's like, oh, John, don't worry about it. No one contacted me. But in John's mind, that's actually a bad thing that no one harassed him, because now John has no one to attack.
Yeah, and I think that's going to change for you, Michael Caputo, too. Sorry, but
I think people have been commenting on his YouTube videos.
Once you're on this show,
it's
ding, 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 dinner bells are been rung.
Because, these guys just, I don't know if you notice, Emily, and Michael, there are about 22 shows every single day. Every hour.
Hold on a second. It's interesting. There's a lot here. First of all, it's so fascinating that he's getting into the Dabbleverse with them. Like, he is about to embark on a journey where he explains to them what is happening with Tukey and Cardiff Electric and the Shitweigher and Lady K. That's the path he's about to walk them down. The reason they're on the show is to talk about Pat Cooper and this goddamn memorial they're having at the Italian American Club. And John is going to explain to them Dabblers Anonymous on Reddit. But even more so. Well, let me hear that. Go back 10 seconds. I want to hear that again.
Yeah, hold on.
Because there's something else interesting to me here.
Here we go.
When they contacted me.
Oh, good. Okay. Because, these guys just, I don't know if you notice, Emily, and Michael, there are about 22 shows every single day.
So that's interesting to me. That he is. It's interesting how John's mind works, and it kind of it makes sense now, because of all the damage he's done to his brain and his nerve system, that he gets so confused and fucks things up and lies all the time, because I don't think he knows what reality is. Because what that list was, the 22 you just heard, that was 22 individuals that attack him every day. That's how it started, and that included. Tukey, Cardiff, Obnoxious John, Carl, producer Chris, Jenny Jingles, Shuley, Bob, Mike Morse, like me, Craig, and you. I think we're on that list.
Yeah. Oh, DJ Electra. I'm sorry.
sorry, Electra. But you didn't make the cut. John will hit on you, but he's not adding you to this lawsuit.
I try not to say his name at all, so that's why I'm not on it.
Guys, can we please get John to hit on Electra?
We could.
I think there's possible love there.
We could definitely do.
Oh no! Don't even. Don't sacrifice me.
I think there's love there. I think I could see you two hitting.
Don't do it. What is this?
But
I want box eating dad.
Oh, hell! Oh, I'm sorry. I can't steal a girl from my boy, box eating dad. That's right.
Yeah.
Maybe you can be his stepmom, DJ Electra.
Okay.
Yeah. That'd be nice. But what that list was 22 individuals, and John has now inflated that to 22 shows that talk about him every day. It was like 4 shows,
3 hours a show, 66 hours a day of me.
It was 4 or 5, maybe 6 shows, and he counted all the people on them. And now it's 22 shows. So every hour, like you said, every hour of the day is covered with John coverage.
Oh, God. Is he going to add in the super tip people, too, now? Because that's going to greatly increase that number.
Oh, Delete Laws is going after me. Daniel Alexander.
I'd love
there's Blind Mike. There's AI Blind Mike.
Is Craig? Make sure Krager's is in a lawsuit.
Every hour of every minute of every second, whatever, that are doing shows, watching me and commenting about me. You would think I was De Niro. All they do is watch me.
No, we like Robert De Niro.
Yeah, we can stomach him 3 hours at a time, and then we move on with our day.
He's a respected artist.
He's not crashing his life into a pole every second.
But here's what's interesting about John. And he gets these two. But if you hear John's story, particularly from just his side, which I imagine a lot of the people in his life do. I was at a wedding yesterday. If someone walked up to me and said, hey, Mike, how's it going? And I said, good, how are you? And they said, well, if I'm being honest with you, not so great. I have 22 shows online that every day they make fun of me. And they make fun of me, which I don't really mind. But worse than that, they make fun of my kids. And as a father, I'm just hearing this guy's story. I would go, oh my God, that's terrible. Now, because I'm somewhat cynical, I live in this world. I would say like, oh, that's crazy. And then when I went home, I would probably research it and see like, okay, you play somewhat of a part in this. But if you're Michael Caputo just trying to get on with his day, you're like, oh my God, that's terrible. So it's a fascinating world that John lives in, where he constructs this universe where people at random are going after his kids. And he has people that are like, John, that's terrible. And just fueling that ego of his so that he can keep moving forward.
Yes, and quick side note, Blind Mike, how aggressively did the skirt go for the bouquet toss at the wedding? Just out of curiosity.
Not particularly.
Gosh, good girl. Yes. Here we go.
She knows her.
Michael, Emily, I know I'm fucking compelling, but I didn't know I was that compelling. I mean, how the fucking...
What a fake laugh.
And this always bothers me, just aside, with him, is that they're watching me. I must be great. And then he just doesn't get... It's the fall that makes it so great.
You're absolutely right.
You're currently doing that we're watching that is great. It's the fall from what you were doing.
You're absolutely right. But the real problem with what he's saying is the solace that he's taking in being so compelling is completely phony. That's the issue. If he was genuinely like, if one of these guys, it doesn't have to be Stuttering John, whatever person you like to watch getting trolled. If they said, which I imagine a lot of successful people do, like I imagine Tom Segura sees what's happening on Reddit and on YouTube and all the people criticizing him, and Tom Segura doesn't really give a fuck. Maybe on some level he does, but on some level he also knows, like, hey, if they care about, I'm selling out fucking arenas. Like, you need people to hate you to kind of fuel you.
Absolutely. Do you ever troll, Blind Mike? Do you ever go in under an assumed name and just have one guy you just troll just because?
No, I do it on this show.
Okay, I guess you get it out of your system on Sunday.
Yeah, so I do troll, but it's on air.
Yeah.
But what John doesn't understand is like he's taking it's fake. He's saying like, I didn't know I was that compelling. If he really believed that, he wouldn't be threatening litigation. He wouldn't be going out. He wouldn't be posting pictures of Kevin Brennan's wife. He wouldn't be making awful comments about Shuli's family or Carl's wife and father. He wouldn't be going after these people because he would really believe, hey, obviously there's something interesting about me. So, let them enjoy it. John doesn't believe that. And it's why the FBI has a file on me.
It's because when you're high on benzos all day and all night, reality changes constantly.
Right.
That's true. So fun. It's so fun. Kids don't do it at home. All right.
I must be fuck that other guy. I am the most interesting man in the world.
Well, I think it's a form of jealousy. Flattery.
See, that honestly, that response from Michael makes sense because you're getting one side of the story, and you're like, oh yeah, they must all be jealous, which is generally speaking true to an extent. Like if someone is just in a YouTube channel and they're not being funny, they're not goofing on you, like they're just like, fuck you, your show sucks, I hate what you're doing. That anger is not really meant for whoever that person is. That's misplaced anger. That the person commenting those things is dealing with all sorts of other issues. That's true. That would be misplaced. The people in John's chat are like having fun fucking with him because he gives them a reaction.
And if you're having a phone or a conversation with someone, they're like, yeah, I got this one channel, they're trolling me. And you're like, oh, I understand. That's how the internet can be. It's horrible.
Yeah.
When you say, out of your own mouth, when you say, I have 22 coming out of me, I'd start to think something's wrong with you a little bit.
If you had a cynical bone in your body, you would think like, why that many?
Yeah, 22. God damn. All right.
You should be flattered.
Yes.
That's why I wanted to give you the exclusive, John. Nobody got this exclusive.
Michael Caputo keeps bringing up this exclusive. Pat Cooper was legally married, right? The documents, it's public information.
Here's my mommy. That's the exclusive.
No one can. TMZ did not put out a headline the next day. Pat Cooper, widowed.
And the surprise to talk to Emily because I knew you knew it.
I mean, the surprise would be, we're dating. That's the surprise I'm waiting for. Why are we? Come on.
Hey, did you know Pat Cooper's wife no longer has a husband? What a surprise.
She has a boyfriend. Hey-oh.
Yeah, and time. See, like I gotta tell you, I got so many people tickets into the Tonight Show. So I mean, I must have had like people on the guest list every fucking show. People would ask me, and
that sounds like such. I've never at Kirk's live shows. I have never once, and they've given me like at the Wilbur Theater and the shithole State Theater in Portland, Maine. By the way, I think the Be a Man guy is doing a protest of the State Theater. If anyone wants to join him today, but at these theater shows, the producer of Kirk's show, whoever it is at the time, usually asks me, "Do you need any tickets for friends or family?" And I always say no, because my friends and family don't need to go to some event to see me on stage for free. They can pay if they want to go, and other fans should be able to get those tickets. So I don't want to be a fucking nuisance on the show. John, at his job, every day, not just special events, every day said, "Jay, my cousin's in from out of town. Can he come to the show?" Every day you bothered them with that, John? What a terrible employee.
Yeah. That rings to me like when he was on Stern and taking stock advice from people over the phone. Like, this dude will just do anything to better himself using your business.
Yes.
So my guess is a lot of those invites were people John was going to do business with, make money off of, and he's like, "I'll do this thing for you." And guess what? Army Major was one of those guys, right? And then owns you. He owns your soul forever because he's like, "You met Corey Feldman because of me." And then we can't get Army Major over here anymore.
I know. That's a good point. But yeah, no, you're right. And it was either... You're ultimately completely right, but I was just going to add that it's either people that can help him in some way, like people he's looking for something, or like maybe his buddy Dan or someone like that, where he wants you to be wholly impressed by him and think that he's God. And if some dirtbag from Long Island comes out to Hollywood and gets to see Jay Leno and the Tonight Show set, then he'll think John is a god, and John can hold that over you forever. Yeah, he uses it. He weaponizes it like he does everything else, where he's like, "Remember that thing I did for you? Now you owe me."
Yeah, I believe John's whole life is about building up enough cred that he didn't have when he was a child to go to that same neighborhood in wherever the fuck, New Jersey or New York, when he was a kid and walk around the sump like a big man now.
Big star now.
I did it. I left the sump. Look at that sump. I left you. Don't you see the irony, John?
Of course, I would go out of my way and do that for people,
I remember hanging out with you. Like,
I think abusing that privilege is you're such a terrible employee, John. To brag about it? Oh yeah, every day I ask for free shit.
Yes. And then I'd sell tickets every day that if I couldn't find someone to be impressed by my being on the show. I'd just sell them. I'd stand in front and sell.
He's like Ricky Bobby's dad. 2 tickets.
That's a great pull.
Group way back in the early 2000s, up on the Upper West Side, Jean-Luc over that joint, and before I ever met Pat, and Jackie,
Well, then, how could that be? Like, before you met Pat and Jackie, how did I know you?
Because I was just, socially, just around.
What insulting. She's like, "Hey, John, remember, how we've known each other for many years?" He's like, yeah, okay, remember when I pretended to recognize you a few minutes ago? I was lying.
Now I got to buckle down, John. Buckle down, John. Who is this person?
How did I know you? I knew you because you were banging Jackie Mottling and Pat Cooper. I know you somehow else?
You were Jackie and Pat's finger trap.
Parties and things. I mean, I remember.
Don't tell me I hit on you too.
Pat had the birthday party for.
Oh, she didn't answer.
Oh no. Oh, she didn't answer. Oh no.
John absolutely hit on her.
That's amazing.
To go to it's so gross, John. Don't tell me I hit on you. That's his way of coyly saying, like, I find you attractive, Emily. You can message me after the show if you'd like. If you want to hang out, I can take you to the Belmont sometime.
You didn't, again, a visual thing, but when he asked, did I hit on you? She looked hard left.
Yeah, and she's like, the answer she gives right after that is like, yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah, no, she remembered, and she specifically remembered, and oh my God,
John
that's
probably horribly gross. Probably did the thing he did earlier. Where, let me give you a big hug, sweetheart.
I invite you out for 6 months to stay with me.
It's John, and John's answer will always be, well, Howard did that. Yes, John. Some people consider Howard gross, but people impersonating Howard and doing a bad job of it are even grosser.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This one, I guess, goes more into the Dabbleverse.
Oh, I was hoping, because he didn't cover that enough with these two. And you know what? They were obviously, last time we heard him bring it up, they were obviously really interested in it. Because you guys remember when they said, please, John, tell us more about that. Maybe we cut that part out.
Yeah.
I mean, these guys just, I don't know if you notice, Emily, and, and Michael, there are about 22 shows every single day. Every hour of every minute of every second, whatever, that are doing shows, watching me and commenting about me. You would think I was De Niro. I mean, all they do is
played this already.
Yeah, Krager's, what are you doing?
Fuck this up.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna get you, Krager's. This is why you don't put all the clips all. You put them all together, so there's a nice move. This one's called True Creep.
Okay.
All right, that one seems to be kind of where we left off.
All right.
How could that be? Like, before you met Pat and Jackie, how did I know you?
That's
we
the
just
same
heard this
one.
stuff.
I was
Krager's, what are you doing?
The fuck is he doing?
He was shitting.
He was
Clearly.
sick, everybody. He was pooping a lot today.
Oh, Krager's,
Craig,
I
fuck
knew you'd
this
do
up.
that. I knew you'd do that to me. Pretty cool, huh? Is what this one is called.
Okay, well, this is where we get back to John bragging, and John's gonna say this, and everyone's gonna go, John, you're the man, John. Sorry we didn't see it before.
Months, and Gino Bobina, thanks for being a YouTube member. So this was a sound effect that I used to do on the Stern. Like, I did it on Howard, and then Fred had me record it in Scott's studio, and they still play that sound effect to this day.
Right. If anybody wants to find me, they can find me on YouTube channel. Just look under Michael Caputo Author.
That was the best thing Michael Caputo said the whole interview.
You're dumb trumpet. Anyway, find me on YouTube.
I make a kazoo sound with my mouth and fingers. Do you guys think I'm really cool now? Yeah, so I have YouTube videos up. If you guys want to subscribe.
And
I feel like that might be Michael Caputo kind of being like, can I get out of here now?
And stay tuned for the 23rd show on Stuttering John, the Michael Caputo Show. All right, we got the next one here. It is called, because I'm seeing what Craig did now. It is called Travolta Scoop.
Oh, this is so. If I asked you, if I said there was a scandal about John Travolta, what would you say, Casey?
Massage, men, and airplanes.
How the fuck do you know about that? How on God's green earth? Well, you must have heard about it yesterday, right?
Yeah, I was reading about it yesterday. No, it's years.
This is a man who has been part of shows that tackle popular culture. The Howard Stern Show and The Tonight Show talk about topical things. And John was a part of those shows for a quarter century. 25 years he was on The Howard Stern Show and The Tonight Show. Now he kind of reports himself he carries himself as a political figure. He's on the cutting edge of news. Listen to the story that Michael Caputo is going to tell. And by the way, Michael Caputo wrote a book about this. He's a guest on John's show, and John still hasn't heard this story. It's stunning that John has missed this.
Now, I think this guy's accusing you, and you don't have to, don't be mad at me, but I think he's saying that you're gay, which I don't, I have two gay
Hold on.
kids.
Michael Caputo's clearly gay.
What?
Sorry, Michael. He's saying just about the worst thing you could say about a human being, and that's that you're gay. Sorry about that.
That's not what the chat says, though. That's the funny part about it. That's his interpretation of what the chat says.
But then he goes,
interpretation. It says Caputo has AIDS. That's the chat.
Is that what it says?
Yes. Now, do you want to hear John explain it one more time?
John. Yeah, okay. So it says Caputo has AIDS?
It says,
Yeah.
hello, light-skinned Captain Mauser Caputo with AIDS. So, yes.
And that's how John summed this up.
Don't be mad at me, but I think he's saying
Don't
that you're
be mad at
gay,
me.
which I don't. I have 2 gay kids.
You have 2 gay kids. I don't care what they say about the gay thing. My father didn't have a problem with it. My mother didn't have a problem with it. My grandmother didn't have a problem with
He's
it.
gay. And John's like, I don't have a problem with you queers. My kids are gay. But I don't think I would ever accuse you of being gay. And Michael Caputo's like, no, I'm gay. I'm very gay.
Wow.
Honestly, didn't know he was gay until like 10 seconds before, like right now. Like the way he answered this question, so gay. But before, I had no idea. Like gay is so bad.
No, I'm terribly gay, John. You don't have to apologize for it.
Did your father hate you like I hate? Oh, never mind.
You should apologize for putting the question on the screen. This guy has AIDS.
Right?
Yes, for $2, by the way. So it's not even like a $10, $20. Like you can't. It's $2.
And then go, that must mean you're one of those. I remember the guys in the AIDS. All you guys had AIDS back then. I remember.
I called my son AIDS for a while when I found out he was gay.
Yeah, don't worry. Both my kids are AIDS.
That's a T-shirt.
Didn't have a problem with it. My grandmother didn't have a problem with it. I don't care what any stranger have to say about it.
That was a really boring comment. Does anybody have a better one?
Well, this is even worse, but
they paid $2 for it.
Oh my God.
Hold on. This is even worse. Hey, this guy has AIDS. And he's like, yep, I am in fact gay. Anything else? And John's like, well, if you like that, then buckle up.
Also being very motherly. That's a good mother-in-law right there.
Yeah,
but I don't know if this. Did you know John Travolta at all?
Yep.
Hold on.
Yes.
Hey,
Oh my God.
hold on.
Oh no.
Worse than suggesting you have the AIDS virus. Did you know John Travolta?
The look on his face says he knew John Travolta, Mike.
Well, he wrote it's in his book
Okay.
that John didn't read.
Oh, this is gonna get bad. All right, here we go.
I know scandal about him. I didn't know him personally. Yes, scandal. That's where they saw all that stuff on the internet. Yep.
So here is
on cover of the Daily News.
So here's Shuli's manager at Piggly Wiggly, 6 for the fiver. Don't forget to ask Mr. Caputo about John Travolta trying to SA him. I don't know what that means. Also,
You don't, John? Really?
You lying motherfucker. I've heard him use SA before.
John, you don't know what that you just live in the world for a second. Think about it in the context of this.
Well, I don't know why they're trying to make you go to San Antonio, but maybe Travolta live in San Antonio, everyone? I don't get it.
Travolta's crank.
I never worked on Travolta. I was a licensed massage therapist at the Peninsula Hotel. I never worked on John Travolta, but when John Travolta came to the Peninsula Hotel with his wife and kids 1 floor below, he would always request a male therapist, and he always tried his shenanigans. So,
Oh, really?
all around the country. On
How
boats,
does he
on
not
cruises.
know that? It's staggering to me.
Men have stronger hands.
That's a good point. Yeah, maybe he just wanted a massage, Electra. That's a good point.
Right.
But if John's guest, if the chat was like, hey, your guest happens to know Harvey Weinstein. And John was like, I'm sorry, they're saying you got AIDS. Do you know Harvey Weinstein? And the guy was like, yes, as a matter of fact, Harvey Weinstein brought my sister in to audition for a role. And he locked the door behind her and said that if she wanted the role, there was really only one way she could get it. And he forced himself on her. And John would go, what? My pal Harvey? How has John avoided this story?
He hasn't. This is dumb John, acting dumb John.
You think? He's just pretending?
Well, I think also his brain is a little compartmentalized. So when he's not engaged, he's just sort of Whip It John. We got Whip It John right now, and we don't have like Engaged John.
Right now, John's thinking, Pat Cooper raped his massage therapist? I don't understand.
So he would try to come on to the guys and try to do inappropriate behavior at places like that in 5-star.
Wow, I didn't know that.
John Travolta is not straight. Okay, let's just get that clear. But I'm not outing him, and I never worked.
But by the way, this is where I think Michael Caputo is kind of a shithead. I'm not outing him. He never once has confirmed that he is gay. Never in his life. He has a wife and kids, and never once has he acknowledged that he's gay. But I'm not outing him. It's like, well, maybe a little.
It sort of did. Yeah.
You know, a man can have his wife and kids and still like go getting his cock pulled by another man. It's just, it's alpha.
I'm not shaming. I'm just saying it is outing to suggest that all this is happening.
Andrew Tate told us to do it.
So I don't know who his crank is.
Really an
I
exclusive.
know a lot of other men out there.
Yeah, John, maybe in 2009. This is not an exclusive.
Caputo's Crank, the 23rd show. Talking about Stuttering John.
Hey, John, you know the football coach, Jerry Sandusky? I've got some news for you.
Yes, he did a great nickel defense in his time.
But what does SA mean? Trying to SA him.
I don't know.
Oh, these boomers. Are you kidding me?
No one there
those
knows.
guys-
You can't put it together. You were just talking about sexual assault. You can't figure it out.
Yeah, DJ Electra, do you know what I say? I'm just kidding. Right?
So I don't know who his crank is.
Really an
I
exclusive.
know a lot of other men out there do know.
But what does SA mean? Trying to SA him.
I don't know.
Also, a little theory. John SAs, or has SA'd in his life. So he likes to stay so far from that I don't even know what that means.
I
Well,
wrote
what does
many
that even
essays at
mean?
NYU. You're correct.
Yes, there are not women out there that have NDAs. I guarantee it. There probably is. All right, that's the end of that clip. Let's see what else we got here. See if Kragers has doubled us up anywhere else. Probably not. We all hope Kragers is doing well. And you know, guys, make sure you get a membership. Make sure you turn on your gifted memberships. You hit the like button, the subscribe button, and the notifications, because you'll never know when you get a second show.
That's exactly right. Yeah, if you weren't subscribed today, you'd feel like a real fool because you didn't know we went live twice. Actually, 3 times.
No, twice. Just twice.
Just twice.
All right, this one's called Jackie.
Okay, so this is John. So this Emily woman also used to date Jackie Martling, if you guys didn't know that. It kind of came up. But she used to date Jackie Martling, and they broke up, I guess. And it seems like something she didn't really want to talk about. So John says, let me drill down on that a bit.
If John doesn't ask her if she ever laid on the dock, he's not doing the right questions. Did you ever lay on Jackie's dock? Here we go.
Podcast and was condescending about Pat and me, and it didn't really. It wasn't very nice. I didn't like what he
You know
said.
what's funny you say that, Emily, because that's the thing. Jackie has a problem with me now.
Of course,
it's
it
only
comes back. You know, it's funny you should say he doesn't like you because you had a real personal relationship with him that we've never heard about. What if I told you a story for the 10,000th time that the audience is hearing it?
And those 22 shows I told you about, he's not one of them. So just confirming other people hate me.
But it's all now. Here's what. So John's about to launch into the diatribe he has about Jackie. He ignores the fact that John repeatedly gave out private health information about Jackie Martling, told people he had a stroke, information that Jackie didn't want out there. Jackie asked him to stop doing that, and John was like, I'm just busting your balls, Jack. Why you gotta get so sensitive?
Because I was saying, I called him a schnorrer because he would because
that's
a
his
friend of
problem.
mine had hired him, and then Jackie was asking for a spa day for his girlfriend, and first class tickets, and then per diem, and the guy was already paying him $5,000 to essentially hang out at his party. So I called Jackie.
This is not absolving John of guilt. I do think in that moment he's completely forgotten that he told everyone that Jackie had a stroke before Jackie wanted that information out there, and that was the center of their beef that they had.
Yeah,
I genuinely think John forgets he does these things.
Yeah, and I think at the time Jackie was working on his book and trying to find publishers for it. It was fucking with his livelihood that John was saying this stuff.
Right, but now if you first of all, John would say that's not true. It didn't fuck with his life. But if you mentioned it to him in the moment, he would go, "Oh, yeah." But then he would make up some excuse. So that's where John's a shithead. But I genuinely think like he's so fucking wet-brained that he doesn't remember he does these things, and that's why people get mad. Like there was a great clip that again our pal Obnoxious John was playing this morning, where all our clips are centered around this interview today. But John's had an interesting week overall, where they play John talking about the origin of the beef with him and Shuley, and John goes. They play a clip where John plays a clip where Shuley is saying, John tried to get me fired. He tried to out me as his mole. He claimed I was his mole and tried to like put me in bad standing with Howard and all this stuff. And John goes, yeah, but I'm sure he did something to start it. In fact, what did he do? And he can't think of anything. So he constructs a story in his mind, and he goes, yeah, so fuck Shuley, because all that happened first. And it's fascinating because you watch John construct a truth that never happened, and he believes himself. Like, if you think John could be influenced by fake news, he does it in his own mind. So journalism could easily do it to him.
Absolutely. And that's why we watch you, John, not because you're Robert De Niro.
Yeah, right.
Because you just
Robert
living
De
in your own
Niro.
goddamn world.
I'm Robert De
Jackie
Niro.
got so mad at me. He don't talk to me anymore. Yet he could trash me all the time. I don't. It's weird. It's like he got.
Yeah,
cranky
it
in
is
his
weird that Jackie on the show used to say you stutter a lot, and you were like, "Hey, America, Jackie his heart isn't working anymore," and that Jackie didn't see those two things to be the same.
Equal, Mike. They're equal.
old age.
Well, that's really it's kind of sad.
She's trying to come up with anything to help defend him. She's like, "Yeah, that's those two things are the same. My ex-boyfriend being condescending to me and my new husband is exactly the same as you using some Jewish term to describe Jackie or whatever story you just told, John. Those two things they're comparable."
Yeah. Mike, we have a few super chats. I think we should probably just
Let's
bang
catch
them
up
out
for
real quick.
God's sake.
Yeah, there's only a few. So
Okay.
people, feel free to super chat. We're reading them. DJ Electric,
You're welcome
you there?
to.
I am.
You don't have to, people. I'm not saying you have to.
You're
Do
welcome to. Yes.
All right. Oh God, look at this. His little selfie. Go ahead, DJ Electric.
Hamilton Burger, $2. What shows can I watch Hack Ride the Demon on?
Oh well, hey.
Interesting question. Funny you should ask that.
Well, right now, he's not allowed on this one, but we do have a Patreon show coming up where the Demon and the Fry Lady are back together, and they'll be watching. We're gonna steal something from you, Mike. I gotta say it right now. We're stealing from you.
Okay.
We love your Quincy, and make sure everyone member up to Blind Mike because he watches Quincy on its Patreon. It's awesome.
Thank you.
And we're doing the same thing, but our show is Golden Girls. That's right. 4 hot slots from the 80s. Watch the Demon.
Now that's interesting though, because Golden Girls was a good show, right? Are you guys fans of Golden Girls?
I
Yes.
love that show. Yeah.
That is different from what we do, because Quincy is a ridiculous show.
What is
Right,
Quincy's
right.
amazing. Medical examiner solving crime throughout the city. It's amazing.
So it is a little different. But yeah, go watch Golden Girls with that. Do watch out for the copyright stuff.
No, do you think I give a fuck about
I
that
know.
at this
I'm just
point?
telling you they'll take it down.
Plus, I am also I can kill shows at any point. I do that all the time. So yeah. We're gonna start it. We'll see if we get it. But thank you for asking, Hamilton. Next one, DJ.
By the way, before we move on real quick, I've been trying to get booked. This is humiliating. I've been trying to get booked on Electra's show for weeks now, and I've been
no.
snubbed every time.
This is
Oh,
humiliating.
no,
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 shut.
no.
DJ Electra, DJ Electra. This is humiliating because we canceled that show 2 weeks ago. So that's why.
Oh, that's why I'm not on.
That's why you're not on. Although we will
You can
bring
tell
it
I'm a
back.
big fan.
Aw.
That's why we were sad. We're actually a little sad right now, but that's okay. We're moving on.
All right.
Chef Lewis, we didn't see you in the chat for a while. God damn, Mike.
Sorry, buddy.
That's okay.
And I want you on Catch 22, but it's just too late. It's past your bedtime.
It is. It is. I'm early to bed.
Yeah. Which
But I'll
makes sense.
I'll stay up one night for you.
Okay.
DJ Electrify, real quick before you read this. Do you not love Mike's beard this week? It has been an amazing week of Mike's beard.
I always love Mike's beard.
Whoever cut it last
Freshly
time,
lined up. Thank you.
go back. That line is.
I go to the same place Well, I can't say every time. Sometimes I do it myself. Actually.
Wow. Can that be a Patreon? Can we see that?
It's better than you'd think. It's easier than you'd think. But
I've cut my own hair for 20 years. I believe you. All right, DJ Electra.
Oh, Chef Louis, $4.99. Hey, Electra, have you seen Box Eating Dad's sick tattoo? Why, yes, I have.
What's going on with you and Box Eating Dad? Is it a relationship? Are you guys just fooling around? What's happening?
It's early days.
It's in the name, Mike. It's in his name.
He's a young, handsome man. I can attest to that. He's a virile young man. So I think you'd be doing pretty well for yourself.
I think so too.
All right.
And he did send me his tattoo. I have seen it. It's amazing.
Excellent.
So,
Right.
and here is Box Eating Dad for $1.99. He says, "Sup." That
I think
was
that's
all
directed at you.
Yeah, now it's getting gross. You guys get a room, please. But one with a window, because we all want to watch.
I'll make sure to have a window.
After Jackie
leave the lights
here,
on.
Oh yes, please. That's a good question. Hey, Mike, do you leave the lights on? During whoopee?
For intercourse, not usually. No.
Oh, okay, interesting. All right.
I work better in the dark.
Don't we all? Did we do hypocrisy? I think we did. This one is called 47 logical next.
Oh, no, I think Jackie was the last clip we played.
Oh, Jackie
was
was,
one
okay,
after
sorry.
that. Yeah.
Okay, hypocrisy.
I don't really want to get into all that because it's just,
No, I just think it. The reason why I didn't even know this, and I'm almost happy to hear it, and I don't mean that I'm happy that.
So here's
mean to you.
so she tells him, "I don't want to talk about Jackie. I'm not interested in that subject. It's not something I want to talk about, really. It was kind of like I don't know about an ugly breakup, but it's something that I don't love talking about. So I'd like to move away from it." And John says, "Well, I like that it happened to you because it tells me I was right."
She has a face like, "Don't you see I'm sitting next to my child, John?
This is my boy.
Cover your ears, boy. I don't want you to hear about another man entering me."
It was just that this is Jackie's way. Jackie can't get out of his own way. And I talked about that in my book. It's a shame because I love Jackie. I'll always love Jackie, because he was a great guy. But this kind of shit, like he could trash me all the time, and then I trash him, and he writes me off.
So he made fun of me, like when we were busting balls on the Howard Stern show, or when I'd hang out with him. I wrote a book angrily attacking him, and he got all angry about it. He was weird.
It's like he could read.
It's amazing how John is able to tell a story, and as you're listening to it, you're like, "Well, I'm on the other person's side." Like, it's crazy.
And fuck his guess. He does not care about you at all. You say, "I don't want to talk about this ex of mine. It's going to be uncomfortable." He's just delving right back into it.
You don't want to talk about that? Well, I actually think it's a really good thing to talk about, and here's why.
Exactly. And he hates me, and I hate him, and let's talk about it more.
It's such a hypocrisy. And I am, Michael, the hypocrisy police.
Oh.
Poor Michael.
Yeah,
he goes,
They did not take that in the way he thought.
Michael has no fucking idea what that means. To turn to Michael Caputo and be like, "Michael, as you know, I'm the hypocrisy police." And he's like, "Okay. Nice. What precinct do you work in?"
No, I buy 2 shirts at a time, Michael. You understand?
I don't wear this every day.
No. All right, this next one, what was it called? Next Steps.
Okay, good.
And be part of everything. And
you have a YouTube channel, John?
Oh yeah, I have over 20,000 subscribers.
Well, that's great. It's great. By the way, he's like, "Are we just on a phone call?" Because the vibe of this has just been a horrible Zoom call.
Totally thought it was a Zoom call. This guy totally thought it was a Zoom call.
Oh, do you have a YouTube channel? Holy shit.
Wait, I take everything I said about my Travolta back, John. God damn you. A real lawsuit here, John. You caused.
Wait, they didn't know this was live?
No, I'm sure they did. But.
They did, but like Michael has no idea. He doesn't know anything. He's like, "Do you have a YouTube channel?" Meanwhile, they're on his YouTube channel.
DJ Electro, he's sitting there with his stepmom, and that was the surprise.
Electro, what are you, an idiot? You don't bring out your stepmother if you don't realize you're live on a podcast.
Duh.
This is Jackie's old whore. That's my surprise. Don't talk about Jackie.
Stuttering John channel.
Got it. Great. Okay.
Yeah, so this is what I do for a living now.
By the way, I have over 20,000 subscribers is not that great. Like, I have 8. It's not that great a brag. 20,000. You've been famous for 40 years, John.
It's really bad. But to 2 people, 20,000 sounds like a lot. So,
sure.
There's 3 of us here. There's 20,000 that follow me. Yes, that sounds like a lot.
You know what, John? It's more than I have, so that means you're doing really well. You're way better than us.
He's got 3 decades on you. Trust me. There's gonna reverse at some point. There's gonna be a reverse Uno on this at some point.
No, it means he's doing so good. Good job, John.
A quick question for Blind Mike.
Okay.
If Eric, unboxing Eric, the actor Eric, had lived, would Eric be A, bigger than Stuttering John? Yes. B, bigger than Howard Stern? C, dating Britney Spears? Or D, all of the above?
He would be definitely. You know what would be fun about Eric the Midget if he was still alive is he would get the reaction that you want. Like he'd be a fun. He would do the YouTube shows that he was doing and shit, and it would be fun to follow him. But he wouldn't be as nasty as John. He wouldn't go after people's families and shit like that. Like there wouldn't be the ugliness to it. I don't think that John carries with him.
I think that was just time. He got the early crop of trolls. He didn't get like these structured trolls. Do
you think I'm wrong? Do you think he would have gone after people?
I don't think initially, but I don't think anyone starts out initially. But once you're the lolcow and once people come after you, I think it's sort of inevitable that you'll fight fire with fire. So that would have been great to see Eric fighting fire with fire. But I do believe that if Eric would have stuck around right now, he would have been more relevant as a broadcaster than Stern. Isn't that fucking crazy? And could have gotten Britney Spears or Kelly Clarkson at this point.
Well, to answer that question, Beetlejuice is like way more relevant than
That's
than
my
Howard
point.
Stern.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he didn't have a show or wasn't funny.
There are a lot of
Thank you for that. We're going to clip that and use it on our show. Thank you. Content.
shows now trying to stop people from super chatting me, which is so egregious. Like I would never tell, people to not super chat others. But if you ask me, the people that listen to these shows and take their
John, you tried to get Carl's channel taken down.
Oh God, what a freeze frame! Every time you stop the record on this guy, DJ Electro, are you seeing what I'm seeing?
Yes.
Stick a dick in that mouth right now.
Or 2.
He tried. He's like, I would never tell anyone. I've lost you.
Yeah, no, never tell anyone that he wouldn't have him super chat, but he's tried to destroy 100 channels, including
I would
yours,
never cost anyone their money. I mean, sure, I tried to get Lady K to lose his job, but that's different. He's gay.
Kevin Brennan said
he has wood paneling. It is applicable.
And don't super chat John.
Lady K, I make fun of him, but he's AIDS just like you, Michael Caputo.
He's got a wife, but he's got AIDS too.
And then they don't? Well, then you're fucking cowards. I don't want anything to do with you then. Anyway,
You're always going to get haters on there. I got a lot of people that made very, very hateful comments on my YouTube channel and any other Howard Stern stuff and everything like that. And he plays them all over the internet because I did write 3 books. And a lot of people make just nasty comments without even knowing me.
As he's saying this, Blind Mike, there is a chat up on the screen from Mike's shitty internet provider for $2 that he's determining if he's going to read or not. And it says, can we talk about frogs, nutsacks instead, please? So as this guy's talking about how people are online bullies, John's like, should I read this? Should I read this ballsack one?
That's great to know that that's what's happening because here's what I didn't know. I couldn't see that, of course. But what I was certain was happening was that Michael Caputo was giving him a piece of advice that's good advice.
Great.
And is falling on deaf ears for the 11 millionth time.
Because he's reading about ball sacks.
Yeah. Hey, John, a lot of people are going to shit on you. And that's something you do have to learn. Again, 40 years as a public figure, I would imagine you learned that at some point. But, he's telling you, hey, people are going to hate on you. You know, you got to let it roll off your back. And John's like, this Mike's shitty internet provider. He's always messing with me. Do I read it?
What a great point you just made. Has anyone been as soft for as long as Stuttering John? That is an amazing point. He has been being trolled and being at this for 40 years and has not developed a backbone.
No, like Brendan, we've watched Brendan Schaub get better at it.
I'm not saying growing a backbone. Yeah,
I'm not saying he's great, but he now knows he was wrong. Like he handled all that shit incorrectly. He's aware of that. Absolutely.
Yeah, you just opened up a whole new identity to me for this guy here.
People learn at a certain point that John is incapable of that. Where other people learn, even like Tom Myers said some things when I interviewed him, where like there's a lot of lack of self-awareness there, but he's aware of certain things. You know what I mean? Like
begrudgingly aware, yes.
Some people learn to an extent. John never does, and that's what keeps us, because Tom Myers keeps putting out content. There's a reason Tom Myers isn't covered as much as Stuttering John, and it's the lack of ability to learn from his mistakes.
Correct. Or adjust in any possible way.
Yeah.
He's fucking Chip Kelly. Make an adjustment!
Yeah. He's so sensitive. His self-esteem is so low, he can't get over it himself to just walk past these comments and let it go.
And it's fascinating to watch someone with low self-esteem like that masquerade as the most confident man in America.
The Duke.
The Duke.
Yeah, so I think this is a good sign for us. Anywhere out there in public where someone is sort of overtly, pompous, we're seeing what they really are behind the scenes, And so that's why John's great psychological study for everyone.
Absolutely.
YouTube channel and any other Howard Stern stuff and everything like that. And he plays them all over the internet because I did write 3 books. And a lot of people make just nasty comments without even knowing me. And I just block them. I just do away with them, throw them overboard.
You should see what they say about me. And they attack my kids. They attack my mother.
Fuck your story. Back to me.
Oh, well, you don't understand, Michael. What I deal with is way worse than your dumb horse shit.
There's one spotlight on this show, Michael Caputo. It's on me all the time.
Hey, John, how about get into your and say, oh, we have a shared experience. Let me hear more about what you've dealt with. No.
I listened long enough to you. Talk about me now.
Stop. And, and then if I retaliate, like I have, Kevin Brennan, the comedian.
Yeah, I know of him.
Do you want to hear all my gripes? Do you know Aaron? He married my ex-wife. He's an asshole.
By the way, this Emily woman seems like, oh God, I have to hear about another hack comedian. God damn it.
The things I do for my gay stepson.
Yeah. So he starts calling my mother a dumb C word and starts calling my sister an ugly Danny DeVito dwarf. Right? And
imagine presenting this to me. So I have a buddy. I don't know if you're aware of this, Casey Day, because I know you know nothing about the Kirk Minahan show.
Who?
That's right. Good boy. But Coleman has resigned.
What?
Producer Cole, crazy, right? Coleman is stepping down. And a buddy of mine asked me about it at the wedding yesterday. He was like, that's fucking crazy. So I talk about it to him, and he and I talk because he knows what I'm talking about. That's pretty normal to have a conversation with a guy who he and I can have this conversation. Other people might not understand what we mean. What John is doing is the equivalent if I went up to random people who I've never met in my life and said, fucking Coleman quit in the last day of his suspension. Can you believe that? And they'd be, I'm sorry. And I'm like, Coleman, what do you not get? Coleman left, so now it's just Justin, and we're going to see if Mick is going to produce the show. What aren't you getting about this? And they're like, I'm sorry, Mick, you've given me zero context. How could I possibly relate to what you're talking about? That's what John is doing to poor Michael Caputo.
Don't know any of these people, but that sounds like a baller move, quitting on the last day of your suspension. You get all that money.
Right. It is. He was suspended without pay, so it's actually an insane move.
Well, that's an insane move. Yes. That is fucking hilarious. Whoever this guy is, bye.
So what do? I just show a picture of his beautiful wife that she posted on Facebook. I didn't say anything bad about her.
It's amazing to hear the context that people in John's life get. But also, like, even hearing the slanted side that John gives, I would hear this. Like, if anyone is a critical thinker that John is talking to, I would be like, you showed a picture of his wife to say how beautiful she. That's a little weird. Like, why are you doing that? Why are you talking about his wife at all?
And all of a sudden, you're doing math. 22 shows don't like this guy.
Showing pictures of people's wives.
There's a frogs and nutsack on the screen. What is going on here?
Yeah, they both look like they're getting tortured also the whole time. Their facial expressions are just like ones of torture. So
ISIS video we're watching here.
They probably thought this was going to be 45 minutes. It was over 2 hours.
Oh, no.
Kevin's lucky to be with this beautiful woman.
They had to spend hours afterward Googling shitweigher. What is a shitweigher?
The shitweigher's been very mean to. He's not going to take down my YouTube channel, is he? The shitweigher.
What is a DeVito?
He goes ballistic and now is on a freaking mission to try and take me down. You know, and this is, again, like Jackie. These people can dish it out, but once you give a little bit back, then it's like, I can't believe you did that to me.
Oh, wouldn't you love to show right now, Michael Caputo, the video of him standing outside of Melton's house with that thing? These people, look at him. I'm standing outside their houses. Aren't they crazy?
If that just played by accident.
Yeah, just, oops, I pressed the wrong button.
Get out here, fatso!
Oh, that is amazing. All right, what do we got next here? Hold on 1 second. We got the tape. Oh, yeah.
Oh, is he talking about the tapes?
Of course he is. He's giving these people everything. God damn.
God. They're now entrenched in the 45 minutes ago, they didn't know what the fuck it was. Now they're entrenched.
Now they both have a name like Dabbler's Stinky Toenail. And they're in the chats.
Can you imagine doing this to someone? Like, anyone you respect at all? Like, having them on and just going into completely something they would have no interest in, and you know they have no interest, and just pontificating about your own troubles.
Well, in fairness to John, and I don't think a lot of times I said that, he did bring on a guy who was, 2 things are, I'm gay and here's my stepmom. So it didn't give him a lot, you know.
But yeah, I want to be very clear. Terrible guest.
We'd love to have you on our show, though. You're amazing.
I do empathize with John in that way. Terrible guest. Colossally bad. But John also booked them. This is not a network that forced him to have them on. John wanted these people on. So that is his fault. But it's ultimately like if I had a comic on. Let's say I got Louis J. Gomez back on here. And I was like, yeah, Louis does Legion of Skanks, Real Ass Podcast, The Regs. Go check those out. Louis, you know the difference between Hack Ride and Casey Day? And he's like, no. And I'm like, well, we're talking about it for the next hour and a half. So you better enjoy it.
Oh, you'll remember Hack Ride after a few comments. We had
That's
a few
true. Hack Ride has beefed with him before.
But I gotta say, big fan of Louis J. Gomez now. I love what he's doing to Christians on Twitter. It's so fun for me.
Well, good.
Yeah.
No car sound. Thanks, Fiverr. Did you know recently Johnny called the guy the F slur for drinking an espresso martini? Now, keep in mind, just in my defense.
What's the F slur?
Hold on.
What's the F slur? What?
Like, this guy hasn't
been
had
called since he was 6.
Yeah. But he's gonna go. So he reads that and he goes, someone. So I called someone the F word. But in my defense,
they were a man and they were sucking another man.
Listen to his defense. And by the way, also listen. Keep an ear out. It's very subtle. You guys might not be able to pick up on it.
Okay.
Keep an ear out for how easy it will be to pick this guy's reputation apart in court. When this sees a courtroom, which it definitely will. Let's see how easy it would be to take apart John's entire argument with defenses like this.
Now, keep in mind, just in my defense.
What's the F slur?
For gay people.
Faggot. Faggot.
No, not the long way.
Not the long time. It's got awkward.
Wait,
Just
he
keeps
shorter.
He keeps saying it. He keeps saying it. He's yelling it.
Not what I called my kids in the 80s, what I call my kids now.
John's going out of his way to not say it. And he's got this animal. Oh, you mean this?
That's
Egg?
fucking awesome.
Yeah. So what happened was, I'm talking to Kevin Meaney, the comedian.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to edit
Another
myself.
F word.
You say it on the show. I won't say it here, but I say it in my private life. And let me explain why.
Yeah, and now I will bring up another F.
Kevin Meaney
Oh,
was
yeah.
in favor.
That is, he's going, well, here's why I said the F word. Do you know who Kevin Meaney is?
You guys all talk, right, you Fs?
But listen to this, as if this explanation is going to be logical. Oh, you might think it's crazy that I would use a slur like that. Well, let me explain.
Famous comedian who left his wife for a man, and he had a daughter. And the daughter was getting bullied by all these people in this Dabbleverse, we call it. And I was white knighting for it. I was trying to defend her.
John still doesn't know, by the way, that white knighting is an insult.
Yes.
If you put this sentence in a 13-year-old girl's mouth, it would make total sense.
Yeah. So I was a soy boy beta cuck for her because I'm a good guy.
We used to talk on the phone. I was 15 beers in, and and eating edibles.
I like that he corrected himself. I was 12. Well, let's be honest.
I broke into that second 12er. Do remember that.
And she said,
So John, this is a man who, by the way, in this sentence is defending his children. No, you don't understand. Kevin Meaney's this gay guy who has a 24-year-old daughter, and I was on the phone with her, 15 beers in, hitting on her, and that's why I said the F word.
That's why I hate people like you, Michael.
15 beers in, and eating edibles. And she said her boyfriend liked espresso martinis. Now, at the same time, I'm watching Fast Times at Ridgemont High. I'm right in the middle of it.
At the same time?
This is the greatest excuse ever.
What are you
And
just
it's right
reciting the dialogue as it happens, John?
He's always watching a movie when something tragic happens, Mike. Don't you know? This is his thing.
Are you putting on a play?
After Sean Penn's character goes, those guys are, and then the F word. So I just said, oh, that guy's, and I said the F word. Now, that was just to be funny, and it was on a private conversation. She
Is John a parrot? How did that work? So Spicoli said, so I had to say it.
It's my OCD. I have fag OCD. Anytime I hear that word, I have to say it.
Yeah, John, say it all you want. The only reason I don't is because I don't feel like if I am ever successful having a Rogan compilation put together. Say it if you want. Who gives a fuck? But don't pretend you're saying it because a movie character made you. You know?
Oh, Mike, you should have grown up as a Gen Xer. I got to tell you. Tell me if I'm right about this, DJ Electro. We use that word liberally everywhere.
We did. Like, as a kid, we did
Not
all
me.
the time. It was fading out, like, at the end of my childhood, I feel like. But, like, I'm not... It's a fucking word. Who gives a shit? But you don't have to come up... Like, God forbid John was watching Roots that day. Or American History X. Like, why is a movie character saying it a defense? It doesn't make any sense.
Great point again by Blind Mike. That is not a defense. Why do we let him say these things and just move on?
My consent. California's a two-party consent state, and she gave it to the shows that hate me. And so now now I'm anti-gay. Oh, give me
now they're turning you into a homophobe. Meanwhile, you got two gay children that you just accepted.
Michael's like, okay, I'm buying into the horse shit you've sold me. You've spoon-fed it to me.
Oh, Michael, if you only knew how much he actually hated those children.
But John has, like, now he's doing a thing where he won't talk about the case. I would think a good lawyer could take that clip alone and destroy John with it.
Yeah, it ain't getting there. There is
His
no
entire argument.
This is just the billable amount of hours to go through the nonsense that he says over the last 2 years. There's no amount of cash prize at the end of that.
John, if you were 15 beers deep, is it possible that Miss Meany told you were being recorded and you consented and don't remember?
Wow, exactly.
Maybe he thought it was, things are going to turn sexual. She's recording me. Yeah, let's do this.
John, you're saying you weren't of sound mind when this happened. A lawyer would be fucking wiping his papers off his desk in anger right now.
Yeah, we cancel the call to Johnny Cochran. Yeah, just get the public defender. We're good. We're good. We don't need to spend the money at this point.
Oh, John.
All right, here's this one is called Who's Interviewing?
Oh yeah, so I probably fucked up and said that Michael Caputo was on John's show. Clearly, it's the other way around. This is John joining an interview on the Michael Caputo Hour.
Now I'm going to tell you something funny that I think you guys enjoy. So when I'm on the Tonight Show, I wrote a lot of cold opens, which is like, in SNL, like they go that sketch when they say live from New York at Saturday night. So with the Tonight Show, we'd have a 30, 40-second cold open if one got approved. I got the most in because I love to write and direct these actors. So I got to work with a lot of actors. So me, I think this was me and John Kennedy, another writer there. We wrote one for Jay and Quentin Tarantino. So
can you imagine? If I had if I had my dream guest on, I get Larry David on the show, one of my idols. And you say, hey, Mike, pretty crazy. You're having Larry David on. I'm not comparing Michael Caputo to Larry David. Let's be clear. I'm just painting a picture here.
Well, you've never seen him give a back rub. He might be the Larry David back rub.
Who knows? But I'm just painting a picture here. If you said, hey, Mike, pretty crazy, you're going to have Larry David on. What are you going to ask him about? What's your show prep like for that day? And I said, it's crazy you're even asking because I'm surprised you didn't just assume this. But I was going to play videos for him of me playing Dave Portnoy in ping pong and playing Dave Portnoy in spike ball and just wanted to see how he would react to it. And I thought Larry David would find that pretty cool. I just want him to react to things that I've done. I thought that would make a really interesting interview. My point is, even if you had a great guest and you just talked about yourself, it would be horse shit. So when you have the world's worst podcast guest just going, hey, Tarantino was on Leno once and I shoehorned my way into the sketch they made. It's not an interesting podcast.
Hey, action. Quentin goes his lines and he just goes off script and goes for a minute and a half. And I go, cut. I go, Quentin, it's got to be 30, 40 seconds. You got to stick to the script. He's like, okay, John. Okay, man. And then as I'm walking out of the room,
I like that he makes it seem like Quentin was nervous.
He's cucking to me. He's like, yes, sir.
Oh, okay. You got it, boss. Right away, boss.
I wasn't going to, but the way you said cut shows me you're a director I can't stand next to.
You're in control here. Now I'm nervous. Quentin Tarantino, am nervous.
Or maybe he just thought his lines sucked.
Yeah, that's possible. You don't think John's writing held up to the Tarantino standard?
Like, I'm not going to read this. I don't see a foot in this. I'm going to do my own thing.
It's pretty good, actually.
I can't believe.
Well, hold on. I just want to say before we continue, lest you all think you might be thinking, "Hey, Mike, you said this guest was a dud." John realized it wasn't a great guest. He's trying to make something out of nothing here, and he's telling the audience this isn't about Michael Caputo anymore. This is about entertaining the audience. So obviously, he's telling a story that he's never told anyone before. And I'm embarrassed to have to do it, but I've got to correct you and say that this is roughly the 800th time that John has told this story on this very podcast.
It might be some of the last things we think when we die 50 years from now, just of those thought bubbles in our head bubbling up. We've heard.
I won't be able to remember my kids' names or what year it is, but I'll be blurting out the stuttering. They're like, I don't know, a guy named John Melendez was directing Tarantino. He's off his rocker today. I don't know.
Did you hear that, Skirt? He said, kids. Hey,
the room I'm going.
Ooh.
I can't believe Stuttering John is directing Quentin Tarantino. What a charmed life.
That's great.
I know.
I know.
Now,
you don't have to tell me, lady, how great it is.
Can you imagine if we went and did that whole Forrest Gump thing, but after every time Forrest Gump was like, "Did you see me playing ping pong with the Chinese? I was a great ping pong. I met Nixon.
The point of that film was that, or one of the points, was that Forrest Gump was sort of nonplussed by it all.
He didn't understand what was going on. That was great.
He didn't understand how great it was. John's like, isn't that fucking, aren't I awesome? Right? And we have to go, yes, John, very good. You, very good. That's very impressive. Now, what would be cool is if Michael Caputo was like, I'm a big Tarantino fan. And John was like, yeah, that one time I worked with him was kind of crazy. And Caputo was like, what do you mean? And John's like, I've told the story a bunch. I don't really feel like getting into it. And Caputo was like, come on, please tell me. And John was like, it was no big deal, but I shot a sketch where Quentin Tarantino read my lines. I directed it. It was kind of funny, like me directing Tarantino. I know, crazy, right? But like, it was kind of cool. But no big deal really. And Caputo could go, no, John, that's amazing. You directed the greatest director ever. You don't see how awesome that is? And then John could go, I guess I have lived sort of a charmed life, haven't I? What this is, guys, listen to how charmed my life is.
Yeah, tell us more about this charmed life where you live with your mommy.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Okay.
The one that really gets me is, I beat Shaq. That one really
I mean, that's the
bothers me.
crazy. He's like, but then he'll hear that Casey and go, these guys don't believe that I beat Shaq at basketball. You didn't beat Shaq at basketball. You scored a point on him, but again, that's cool. If we just found out, like, hey, Stuttering John scored a point in some dumb thing against Shaq, you'd be, oh, that's awesome. When John presents it as, I played Shaq one-on-one, and I decimated that cocksucker. He was never right again. He retired from basketball after that.
Oh man, if the world gets destroyed and all that's left is John's book and they build a society as that was their messiah, they're going to think he's like a Jesus level guy. He did everything.
This man John was 5'6", and Shaquille O'Neal was 7'2". And he beat him in basketball.
It's every story. Maybe he's just retelling his life as the Bible. Every story is him coming out on top. And this is just me with a whore named Kate Meany. This is the next one. Kate Meany.
By the way, I didn't realize how long. Am I taking too much of you guys' time? I didn't realize how long this would be.
I'm having a blast.
Okay, good.
All right, here we go.
Let's. John chased a girl for years at Kate Meany. I did not, and got none. I never. I always made this thing, and guys, is that I always said I wouldn't date a girl younger than my oldest kid. So my oldest kid just turned 28. So I wouldn't date like a girl that was younger than 28. I don't know why. It's like an OCD thing, I guess.
OCD? John, there's no way you know what that is. There's no way you know what obsessive-compulsive disorder is.
I don't want to look in the face of someone I'm plowing and see my daughter's son. That's because of my OCD.
I always think, like when I hear John, I always think of Howie Mandel talking and being like, yeah, I turned the light switch on and off 14 times. And then I have to wash my hands after I touch anything, and I won't fuck anyone younger than my daughter. OCD.
Give me them benzos.
Every symptom of OCD that John describes doesn't exist.
No, I've never heard. That's
not
why.
a symptom.
Like, but he's not close to faking that he has OCD. That's the crazy thing.
No, I'm sure there's something there, but that's why I said it's a fun game. It is super fun. Next time you're at a checkup with a doctor, say, hey, I got OCD. Can I get a benzo? And watch their face. Watch the face they make. It's amazing.
Well, say, hey, doc, I won't fuck anyone younger than my daughter because I have OCD. Can I get a benzo?
Wait a second. Yeah, so that's why he wants the benzo. So he can.
That checks out.
But then imagine it with no context. A super chatter says John was trying to fuck Kate Meany. And he goes, no, because my daughter is 27, or son, or whatever it is.
Oh, you're right. It's in between.
So my oldest kid just turned 28. So I wouldn't date like a girl that was younger than 28. I don't know why. It's like
I wouldn't date, but I'd sneak them in and plow them.
an OCD thing, I guess.
Pat didn't have a problem with that.
Well, yeah. Well, fake laugh. By the way, yeah, she's with the son of her husband. That the son is older than her. Mm-hmm. John's like, I wouldn't do anything disgusting, like date someone younger than one of my children. And she's like, yeah, you know the guy we're here to remember?
Great catch.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
I did it.
He's like, I'm not, I've done some things in my life. I'm not so much of a scumbag that I would date someone younger than my children. And she's like, anyways, Pat Cooper's memorial is next week.
So, Emily, you clearly do not have OCD. It saves you from my torment. Yeah. Not fucking young women.
All the great OCD victims like John and fucking what was that lady's name? The model that dated the 100-year-old guy, the fatso there. I fucked it up. Don't worry. Let's move on.
At least it was you this time. Goddamn, it's always me. All right, this is called Great Question.
All right.
So now you are a widow now, right?
Mm-hmm, yep.
And are you on the
So
dating
hold on,
scene again?
already it's great. No. I'm sorry. So you're a widow, right? Now, will you date me? Can you back that up just a second there? I want to hear that again. Where he ham-handedly is like, so your husband's dead, you're dating again, yes?
So now you are a widow now, right?
Mm-hmm, yep.
And are you on the dating scene again?
No.
Oh, that's such a quick no.
Not for you, asshole.
Not for you, John. That's fucking up. That was all for that one. Coming up next, we have the chat.
So he's letting the chat conduct this interview. Now we're like an hour and a half into this fucking thing. And these people are like, can we go? Like, what is that? Do you need us here for this? You're talking about something called the Dabbleverse and telling us how bad the shitwayer is. We told you we don't know who Shuli Egar is. You're only referring to him as the shitwayer. We have to assume that's him now, I guess. We told you we don't know who these people are.
Shulagar.
Shulagar, yes, remember.
Oh yeah,
Shulagar.
I'm sorry, Shulagar.
Like a medieval dragon. Shulagar.
So the chat's like, hey, John's not doing anything here. We got to conduct this interview now.
I'm not reading that. Stuttering John. Emily's a MILF. I bet Clay agrees. Skull. A MILF. Do you know what that means, Emily?
I can't remember.
It means I want to fuck you.
God, these people know nothing. Open a book. Open your internet sometimes. God damn.
Well, I do have to say, I can think a lady that was lusting after Pat Cooper is probably a little out of touch. That doesn't shock me.
You think?
That doesn't shock me. But like, she's probably trying to avoid John saying, it means you're a mom and I want to fuck you.
Also, he mentions Clay here. Have you been following the Clay Dabbler becoming John's mod now? That's a thing.
I know that. I knew that. I don't know any more about it. Are there more details?
Well, just if you're into chat culture, he's in there cleaning up. He's paving the road.
Good.
Throwing people out left and right. And
That's good. I'm glad.
Only people, though, that say don't super chat. You can call John a loser. You can say all this sort of stuff. That stays in. But if you say don't super chat, you'll be blocked.
Okay. Interesting.
We know what this is all about for John.
Skull. A MILF. Do you know what that means, Emily?
I can't remember.
A mother I'd like to fuck.
Oh. But I'm not a mother. I've never
I know.
Kid.
Oh, Michael Caputo just lost his shit right there. Mom!
Mommy! But John goes, I know, it's crazy. You're not a mother. I just want to fuck you. It's weird that they're saying you're a MILF.
You've already clearly put out, so I'm just saying.
I've never had a kid, so
no, never mind. She hasn't put out.
And now he's going to pay you to make fun of you. Will pay me to make fun of you. Officially a bigger loser than John.
You pay me to make fun of you, and I'll do it, by the way. Or anyone else that wants to pay me to make fun of these idiots.
Look at me. They're making me a monkey doing crazy things, saying crazy things about you have a weird nose. $2. Thank you.
John, who would respect that? Like, you're trying to get sympathy. Have you ever thought about trying to get respect? Like, make people respect you. Has that ever crossed your mind?
Oh, 3,000 Whippet cans ago, Mike, is when that went away.
hey, I'm always playing the victim. Maybe I should try to be a respectable human being, and that might change things for me.
His respect is laying at some bottom of landfill 20 years ago in a Whippet can. It's gone.
Michael doesn't even respond. Reverend Billy, thanks for the $2. Stuttering John is the genius of himself. Great interviewer. And now we'll have some real question. Hunter Biden's crack pipe. Thanks for the $5. Pat said the 50-year-old MILF was like, why do you do this to me, Pasquale? What I do you? I make love you.
Why would you read these things to them?
Exactly.
Why would you read?
Never in a million years would I read these.
What a piece of shit.
It's just some professionals eating on air. Electra!
You noticed?
She's eating, Mike.
Electra's not supposed to be talking, so it's fine.
Sorry.
The talking is what I have an issue with. But no, it's like if our roles were reversed here, and I was just moderating the chat, and I brought Electra on solely to be like, Electra, they're saying you have nice tits and they want to fuck you. They're saying you're basically just a hole that they want to fill. What other terrible things are they saying? They're asking how many abortions you've had. I don't know if you want to answer that or not. Why do you have me here?
Like the mom and the exes. Why them me?
All right, let's get off that one.
Okay.
Jeez.
She's like, at what cost am I on this show? Why are you doing this to me?
But she doesn't even know that YouTube takes 30% of that. So she's looking at that like, well, at least he gets $2. No.
Yeah. She's like, well, John, at least you're getting 100% of this money. Oh, actually, bad news.
All right. Strange admission coming up next.
Oh, so this is fun. This is a weird little we talked earlier about John, masquerading as confident, but he's really a sensitive boy at heart. And this is it's a rare John admission of who he really is.
I don't think Pat ever talked about me, right? I mean, because I'm not, like a famous comedian, if you will.
You're not.
He talked about.
That's not what Muttering Jay says.
John,
Jay says
you say you're a famous comedian every day. You talk about it all the time.
About the show a lot.
Yeah.
Because it was fond memories.
She politely is like, he didn't really give a fuck about you, John. It's the Howard Stern show.
He didn't talk to his family for decades. You think he's talking about you, John? Come on.
Yeah, right. The first thing, he ignores Michael Caputo for 35 years. And the first thing he says is, hey, did you see about this Dabbleverse? What are you talking about?
Have you seen Lady K's wood paneling?
And I think he was kind of sad about the way the whole thing sort of ended. But
did he make up with Howard at the end or no?
I don't really think so.
No, of course not.
We all know that. How do you not know that?
It's stunning.
Were you there?
Of course he did not make up. What an idiot, John. John, you're one of the guys who Howard Stern has never made up with. He's famously holds grudges. How do you not know that?
That is amazing.
But it's crazy to make her sit through all of that and then be like, anyways, did he ever talk about me? Why would that be interesting to the audience, to them? Why would there be an interesting story? If one time Pat Cooper was like, oh, yeah, the call screener on the Howard Stern show when I would go in there, he was a nice kid. What value would that add to the show, finding that out?
I can tell people at the pub, Mike.
What context, John, when's the last time you saw him? What context would he possibly bring up your name? Why would he? That's crazy.
There is none. All right, what do we got here? Next is
coming to the end of John here, I feel.
No, let's just go on forever with this. This is amazing. When he actually has a equally bizarre guest, I find it fascinating. Like Rob Saul shows to me, I cannot get enough of.
Oh, really? See, I tune out of the Rob Saul.
Oh, God,
the Rob Saul episodes I literally turn off. Rob Saul I can't do.
He's a bobblehead. It just drives me crazy. I love it.
Clay Dabbler is a little less insufferable. But guests like this, where he's attempting to interview them, are interesting because you see how it's fascinating to watch a guy who's done zero prep work or research about a guest that he has on.
Yeah, and this one's called interviewing skills, which I think
here's what's crazy. So think about that as you listen to this clip. The clip might be from the next day, I forget. But he talks about what a tremendous interviewer he is. So have that in mind.
I'm not going to toot my own horn, but I'm a damn good interviewer.
You are, because I've listened to you before. I was like, he really does a pretty good job. I've listened to you. No, you sound great. You really do.
I'm not. Hold on. Well, can we break down the contradiction there? I'm not going to toot my own horn. I don't want to. I'm not going to toot my own horn, but I'm a damn good interviewer.
Then he toots.
What's that doing then?
I don't know. Not going to toot. Oopsie.
That's literally saying I'm not going to beep my horn and then laying on it in traffic.
Well, maybe he meant I'm not going to beep it. I'm just going to press it until you look at me.
Until you compliment me back.
Yes.
He really does a pretty good job. I've listened to you. No, you sound great. You really do.
Well, you know why? Because ever since I was a little kid, I've been so interested. Like I know this.
Hold on. I want to think whatever your favorite interview is of all time. Think about the questions that were asked in that. Maybe it was a serious, hard-hitting political interview. Maybe it was revealing a scandal. Maybe it was just something much more laid back, like Mark Maron or Joe Rogan, like a kind of a fun podcast where maybe you learn some things or they get into some interesting topics that you haven't heard elsewhere. Whatever that is to you, get that in your mind right now.
Oh, I got it.
And listen to what John's idea of interview skills are. This is how he knew he would be a great interview at a very young age.
Mine is, what has Magic Johnson ever done? That's where I'm at right now. Here we go.
That's a great one.
He's
got AIDS.
Appropriate. But I was a late bloomer. I didn't reach puberty. So I would actually ask, like the 11, 12-year-old girls or guys, do you have hair down there yet?
Whoa. Clip this right now. Clip it without that first part, and we got something. He's asking kids.
Hey, Electra, do you have hair down there?
I think she's off right now doing
She's afraid of my interviewing.
Yes. Well,
Scarlett Johansson, sit down.
Oh, she's back. Hair down there.
Electra, hair? No, we're conducting an interview.
Okay. What's the question?
Hair down there.
Hair down there.
Interview. Great interview.
Hey, I'm a great interviewer. Respect
Yes, you
me.
are.
Tell us, what does your crotch look like?
Vice President Harris, sit down, please.
Oh my God.
And I mean, I had no problem asking, but I'm just I am inquisitive. I want to know things. It's important. I don't know. So
You're a good interviewer. You are.
Yeah.
You know what's really gross about it? Is he's not so subtly asking this woman, Emily, if she's got hair down there. If she's shaved or not.
In front of her son.
Just a boy. Her sweet, innocent boy.
Mommy.
I don't know. So
You're a good interviewer. You are.
Yeah, that's because you got to really care about the people you're interviewing.
Has he even asked them a single question?
No. Why would you?
No, not really. Pat Cooper's dead, yes?
Do they got a shitwayer in their life? No. It's not worth it.
Yeah, Electra, that is kind of foolish of you. Why? Do you think they're more interesting than John? Why would he ask them anything? That's crazy.
Well, that was the last Stuttering John clip.
All right, finally.
That was amazing.
John is out of our lives, but that was a terrific interview. Yeah,
that might be one of my favorite pieces ever. Just the total lack of self-awareness, the running into a cul-de-sac with your thoughts and just slamming into a house. It's amazing. But we do have some super chats, Mike.
Okay, well let's get to them.
All right, DJ Electra, you're up.
Dang Lizard, €5. Wait, someone has to describe Stuttering John's shaving skill to Mike. Apparently, we should forget about the hula hoop. I want a shaving competition, Mike versus Stuttering John.
It's on. I fucking dare you, you pussy.
You are going to kick his ass.
John will never do it.
But he has to do it blindfolded. Oh, God, how fun would that be?
Deal.
Awesome.
I'm in.
Yeah. Well, we got to set it up. You got to set it up. That's what he said about the fucking...
I'm not doing this again, John.
I know. Yeah. All right, go ahead.
Clyde for $5. Only John could think he is the smartest and most talented guy in the room while being the lowest paid for 40 years.
Damn skip.
Right. Right, yeah, he was a call screener. And he thought he was the show.
I just always think about that picture of him at the step with the Stephanie Miller staff where he's wearing Birkenstocks and has a beer in his hand and everyone's like evil eyeing him. Like, just the fall from everything.
And here's the thing. I'm enough of a radio nerd that if I met the call screener and the guy who did the interviews on the Howard Stern show, I'd be like, hey, man, that's fucking awesome. That's really cool. But if he rambled on about how cool it was for 45 minutes, I'd be like, okay, well, I guess I got to go. Sorry I started this.
He does start out in a place where if he played it right, he could be much better off. Like,
John did a cool thing. He was a part of the Stern show. He had a lot of funny stuff happen on there. Like, there's some cool stuff that John has done. And on the Tonight Show, like, I don't know him from the Tonight Show, but playing Shaq in basketball is cool.
Absolutely.
But then you have to pretend you beat him. And we have to go, well, no, you didn't. Yeah, and if there was some humility where he's like, I mean, guys, come on, I beat Shaq at basketball. Like, if he had a little but he angrily, he's like, they don't believe that I did it.
That's this whole thing is trying to change his mind about himself. That's why we're all in the Dabbleverse. We're all just trying to change his mind about himself. That's just
any self-awareness would be a win, but we never get it. And that's what makes it great.
What would we do with it? What would we do with it when we caught our tail? Full self-awareness. Like, he takes mushrooms and just strips down and is naked, just emotionally on air. What would we do? I don't know. Because we might have built up such a reservoir with him, that might all turn to, like, okay, now I like this guy. Like, he might have it in him still to, not in him, but a lot of mushrooms could do it.
Maybe, yeah.
Hashtag dose John Melendez. Let's get that trending. Oh, I'm in the lawsuit now. Look at me.
You bastard.
All right, one more here. Or no, two more. Here we go.
Rosto for $9.99. What up, Mike? Digging the show.
Thank you, buddy.
The second show. Remember, there was a first show with Kragers where he was pooping the whole time. Go listen to that one. It's amazing.
A double header.
Number 2. All right, here we go. One last super chat.
CMOS4044 for €5. Hi, Mike. I'm really happy for you that you decided to get out of the John business.
What is that? 2 hours into this?
Yes. 2 hours and 30 minutes almost. Yes.
Thank you. I believe that's the great Simu 4044.
Wait, I didn't get to read the rest of it.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. All right. Hold on. Sorry. Getting ahead
Sorry,
of myself.
I'm not. I don't mean to be demanding. But...
No, I just want to get to the goal. It's goal time, people.
Oh, fuck. Everyone, hurry up. We got to get to the goal.
Pull them wallets out.
Electra, make this snappy. We got a goal to get to.
Okay, that Who Are These Socials jingle needs to be changed, eh?
Oh, I've been saying that for weeks. That's an outdated jingle. But I do have to say, I believe Doug in the jingles department is quite backed up with a lot of other stuff he's got to do. So I don't blame him.
Okay.
Doug's good peeps.
Yes.
All right. Time for some steel toe, baby.
Oh, are we hitting the goal?
Well, that's not up to us, Mike. That is, I mean, we can do what we can do, but that's up to the people.
So I don't know if you can tell by the way they're labeled, because this was another Craig job. Are the goal clips first? What's the first clip we got?
That's a T-shirt. Craig job is a T-shirt, by the way. Hashtag Craig job. Yeah. So I've got first one I've got we've done well.
Okay, so I think we're getting to the goal. I would have liked to do it the other way, but I feel like we can't now the way Craig did this. But not Craig's fault. He's very sick. He's a sicky boy today. Guys, pray for Craig.
We'll make it work, Mike.
Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna hit the goal, guys. You know what? Actually, I can spin this in a positive direction. Craig did a good job because we can hit the goal, and no matter what, whether or not we hit that goal, we're gonna get a little bonus content today.
Nice.
Yeah, very excited.
All right, here we go.
Guys, we are all right. So now we got 9 minutes left. You guys have done well.
Oh, thank you.
Me not talking goals today.
Thank you so much. Oh, so here's the premise. He gets on and he's like, I'm not gonna bring up the goal bunch today because he realizes he's been getting made fun of for it. So he's like, guys, I'm not. Carl told me on Thursday. He was like, he alerted me to this, and I said, oh, I can't wait to talk about it on Sunday. He goes, just so you know, Tukey already broke this down, and I said, Carl, I don't give a fuck if no one watches. I need to do this now. I need to cover the goal because the only way I can move on with my week is when the goal is hit.
You know, I've been here for a while, Mike, and I've seen you excited about things, but never as excited about this goddamn goal. Goddamn.
Oh, do I get fucking hyped for the goal? I really hope we hit it. Even when I'm not watching Steel Toe, I feel kind of a tingle in me, and I'm like, ooh, I think we just hit the goal. And that's very exciting. So on last Monday, Steel Toe was like, hey, guys, I'm not going to talk about the goal so much. So the burden has been put on us to hit the goal without him reminding us. So with 9 minutes left, he's like, you know, you guys have done fine, I guess. And we say, oh, but Aaron, we can do so much better. Please, Aaron, don't criticize. I'm sorry we're not that close to the goal, but we'll get there, Aaron. Please.
Yes, I see the psychological manipulation doesn't stop at the 20-year-old women he marries. Hey-oh.
But we didn't get all the way there yet, so there will have to be some mentioning here in the last 10 minutes. We got a lot of stories left.
Hey, you know what, Aaron? You know what? That's on us. That's our fault. I understand. You tried your best with us. You were very reasonable. And you know what? You took the training wheels off and you let us go out on our own. And then we stayed out past curfew, you know? We broke the rules. So you really had no choice but to scold us. And frankly, you're being so kind about it. I respect you more for it.
Overtime. It would be really cool to get a win today the way we've gotten it to show that we can do it.
Cool. Would it be so fucking cool if we hit the goal right now? Oh my God, would that be cool? Oh, my heart is a rock.
We need a goal. Okay, come on. We need a goal. DJ Electro, what's our goal? We need a goal. How about $5?
$5.
No. How about like five member purchased? We need a goal.
Yeah. Guys, we have a goal. 1,000 members.
God damn you. All right.
Okay, so I did want to talk about this with you, Casey. And I figured we could talk about it on air a little bit.
Sure, yeah. Go ahead.
I want to, maybe next week, I want to do a show where we set a goal. And I'm not allowed to get off the air until we hit it.
Oh, no. Oh, you're playing with fire. Have you heard Trolls? Have you heard of the thing called Trolls? They love to do the thing you don't want to do. So if you want to get off the air, they're going to make sure you stay the fuck on the air.
I want to see, and I'll have certain rules. Like if we get 30 within 50 under 15 or whatever Aaron says, then I can go to sleep, you know? Like then I can sleep that night.
Can we get a white T-shirt rule for DJ Electra if we get a certain amount?
Absolutely. But here's the thing. I will give that. What I'm thinking is we have ground rules. Like the only thing I can bring up as a topic is the goal. The chat is allowed to mention other. Like if the chat mentions something, I'm allowed to talk about it. We'll invite people on, and if they bring up a topic, I'm allowed to talk about it. But the only thing I'm allowed to talk about is my goal and Aaron's goal.
This sounds like amazing for you and a nightmare for your producers.
Well, that's the problem.
Mr. Flo is going to do an anti-Flo show. I
was going to ask if there was a way we could do it. Maybe the full-out marathon isn't the best way, but...
No, of course there's a way we can do it.
Right.
You're just saying, hey, can we be silly and weird? Who you asking?
Yeah.
Of course we can. But it's just about how do we get to a finish line, metaphorically and with the goal money, because we might be on for 3 days straight.
Yeah, we'll have to figure out a good goal. But if you guys are in for that, if you guys are in to help me hit the goal, because people get so fucking excited for the goal, man, that they're ready. Like if we do it on a weekend, people are like, Aaron's not hitting the goal today. What the fuck what do I do with all this time?
I do like where you're going because I've always said that you need to like lean hard into e-begging. Like we're all here, we all need money.
I don't do it enough, quite frankly. I'm too nice to these people.
No,
I say, hey, you don't have to give me your money. I was wrong. You fucking have to.
Well, we do things a little differently. We ask our fans for $1 billion, Mike. We just straight up asked and said, hey, also put us in your will.
Yeah,
so
put us in your will also.
We just get to it, you know? Like, hey.
That's smart, and I'm coming around to your side of things. So we're going to try to hit the goal maybe next week. We'll talk more about the scheduling of that off air. But keep an eye out for that.
our goal is to have a show next week where we hit a goal. We may not each.
We don't know what it
reach
is.
Either of those. Yes.
Hey, everybody throw in a little on PayPal. And you guys have been doing it $5 at a time.
What if we make it only Rumble rants, Mike? Because I know how much you like.
I like someone said that on Tuki's show. I guess I said like I just had like a guttural reaction where he was reading off his list of where you can donate, and I just go, Rumble rants.
It was you didn't believe it existed.
No, I couldn't believe my ears.
It's like you saw a dragon in the sky. What's that, a Rumble rant?
But he's like, hey guys, you know what? You guys are ham and eggers. You guys are grinding 5 at a time. Like he's talking, it's like he's talking about a baseball team that's hit exclusively singles and scored a bunch of runs. He's like, I mean, it's amazing that you guys were able to do that the way you did it. I've never seen it before.
We scored 13 runs on bunts, but I'm going to need you to start swinging.
Which has been fucking great. I really appreciate the support for this show. Keep our show on the air. That's what your donations do. We knock out that number every day. Steel tokens stay on the air. So Streamlabs, PayPal, Super Chats, Venmo, Rumble rants. Throw it in. Let's knock out 125 and call it a W. There's all the links in the chat. They're in the Rumble chat. They're in the YouTube chat. They're
okay, good. Because this whole time I was worried you weren't promoting it enough.
The links are the problem.
I thought I wouldn't be able to find the links if I went to look for them. I'm glad they're in the chat.
DJ Electra, this is for you. If we do this goal thing, we're going to need constant links all the time.
My God.
Links
we need
all the
so
time.
many links.
I can do that.
Okay, good.
The link
we may have to call Andrea out of the bullpen. We may have to. We need so many links. Is all I'm saying.
We're gonna need a lot of links. All right, let's not get crazy.
Not get crazy. All right,
we need a lot of links.
Sorry. She's a doll though. We love you, Andrea.
Everybody start throwing in a little something, and then
come on, guys, get your neighbors involved. Come on.
He's one step away from asking you to go rob your neighbor.
Aaron, by the way, just to be clear, by a little something, you do mean money, right? He's like, everyone just throw in a little something. Doesn't matter what it is. I mean, it does in the sense that I need U.S. currency. But it doesn't matter what you throw in. It could be Rumble rants, or it could be Venmo, or it could be Streamlabs. We accept all kinds here.
We're like the dealer at a table that just got blackjack. We just reach around and grab everyone's chips from all over the table.
He's acting, and listen, here's the part I understand, is that like if I stopped making money at this, I certainly wouldn't be able to do it as often as I do. You know, like I'd have to figure something out. But that's not on you guys at home. That's not your fault. If I stopped making money at this, it means you guys stopped liking what I was doing. So Aaron is acting like the problem is people aren't aware that he's accepting money. Aaron, hear me when I say this. It is impossible to listen to this show without knowing that you accept donations. We all know. Everyone watching your show is aware that you're accepting money. That's not the issue. The issue is whether or not they want to send it, which is their choice. Some days maybe they will. Some days maybe they won't. If you live or die by that, it's not the audience's fault if you have to stop podcasting.
No.
Which it sounds like he's getting near. By the way, based on this, it sounds like maybe something's going on where he can't afford to do this or something.
Yeah, why doesn't he just say, do you want my children to eat? Yeah. Let's meet the goal.
Which again, that sucks. If Aaron has to stop podcasting and get a sales job or whatever, like that would suck for him. I'd feel bad for him as a person. Like, that kind of sucks, man. It's no one's fault. Except maybe Aaron's.
I don't like this talk, either of you, like not doing broadcasting. But if we were going to do it, everyone put in the chat. What do you think Blind Mike would be good at? I think airplane taxier. I'm going to make you an airplane. You're bringing in the airplanes. That's what I do.
The point is, if I'm doing that, it's dang Lizard's fault.
It is.
That's what I'm saying.
We can do an extra 30 minutes for you today as a thank you for keeping our show on the air these last almost 4 years now.
Hey, you're welcome,
over
man.
3.5 years.
4 years of this nonsense, guys.
He goes through, like, this is just another day, and he's going through it like it's like a retrospective. He's like, guys, you've kept us on the air. I know, Aaron. You tell us every day. I know that. I know this is how you keep the show on the air. I get it. Loud and clear, buddy.
You've kept this show on the air since the radio days. Keep it going. We really appreciate it. Please and thank you. links in the chat.
We know.
The crazy thing is like I've donated to chats. I've seen Blind Mike donate. I've seen Electra donate to chats. Like it's an emotional thing. You're like you give. You want someone to like respect that and be thank you and be like, oh damn, we're doing something here. He has taken all of the magic out of that. Like you're just a number in the process to get me to the goal. And that's the grossest thing about it.
Well, I used this as the example before, but I super chatted you guys once, and Electra's reaction made me donate again because I was like, oh, that made me feel good the way she reacted to that. Aaron's is like, you know, you guys have done a lot, but you're not doing enough, quite frankly.
Yeah,
and that's like that's such a gross thing to watch. It's disrespectful to your audience. And again, the problem is, like, it would be insane of me to think if you listen to this show every week, it would be insane to like if I was like, oh, you're not subscribed to the Patreon, you're not a YouTube member. You must not know it exists. Right. You know, you do a reminder, you plug for if there's new people or there's people that forget, whatever, you remind them. But the majority of people, they're aware you're accepting money for this.
Right.
They're well aware, Aaron. You don't have to plead to tug at their heartstrings.
And a question, Blind Mike, how many years have you been, would you say, a podcaster?
I mean, technically 6 or 7.
Okay, so quite a long time, and he seems to have detached from, oh, these people are giving money because I'm doing a show. You get a super chat and you still appreciate it. Like when you talk off the air, like you really are humble about it. Like, you know, a professional broadcaster should be. People work hard for their goddamn money. It's expensive out there. Groceries are expensive. Someone giving you $5 is $5 they don't got. And to sort of turn that into a system is gross, man.
That's the crazy thing is if you look at the chat, like fucking, it's the same people. So it's like Drew P. Balls has given me money before, and what I'm saying to him is, you owe me money again. Hey man, your debt's up again. It's time to pay again.
It's time to renew.
Yeah, it's like, well, no, I already pay. Like if it's a Patreon or something that's a subscription service, you know that's every month. But like the live chat, every day you're saying to the same people, like, all right, donate again. It's not new people in there that aren't aware. It's the same people you're asking for money every single day.
And think about it. If they get that $5 every day, they're paying more to you than they do in all their cable and internet services combined. Like,
right? Yeah, good point.
These people need to, like, thank you. Thank you for everyone that gave us a tip today on the Blind Mike Show and that has ever given a tip. We appreciate it. Blind Mike does too. Not like you, Aaron.
Guilt trips don't exactly make me want to donate more.
Right, exactly.
We actually have this conversation in our world with Wendy, Wendy Pack, Wendy the Special. You know, she needs much. She is a professional level beggar, like professional. But,
is that right?
But she doesn't know. I tell her, you entertain us. Just tell people, you know, give me money. I'm an entertainer. You don't have to tell us the specific piece of food that you're going to go buy with that money. Right. And so it almost feels like he's kind of doing that. He's like, these are the bills I need paid, people. Come on.
Yeah. Well, we're talking a lot, but in the back of my mind is like,
goal.
Do we hit the goal today? You know, we can talk about this till we're blue in the face. But what I'm really wondering is, are we going to hit the fucking goal?
We're going to hit the goal. We'll get there.
Guys, we got 5 minutes to go. Let's knock this
thing
out.
My God, where does the time go?
The clock is ticking.
Oh, God, it snuck up on me.
He lives in the quantum realm, too. His times are off all the time if you watch the show.
That's my favorite part, is how fast time goes.
Let's do it quickly and make it effortless and painless.
Yeah.
And then
guys, stop fucking around.
Effortless and painless for me. Taking the money out of your pocket. Make that effortless for me, please.
Stop fucking around. You know how much effort and pain would go into it if we let the clock tick down to 1 second before we hit the goal.
If I'm dipping into your pocket, I might get a paper cut. Do that for me.
No, let's do it at 4 minutes and 59 seconds so we don't all get a hernia.
Just move on and do overtime. I'm excited for that. 125. This is very doable. Jump in. Don't worry about who else is doing it.
As I said last time, I think I said this last time. I'm sure this is all shit I've said before. I don't care. I just like ticking down to the goal.
Goal's a repetitive thing, Mike.
But that's the thing is the goal is every day. You know, like we need to repeat because we need to hit the goal. But he's like 125 is very possible. Yes, of course it is, Aaron. Yes, numbers exist, and of all the numbers, 125 is one of the lower ones, if you really break it down. So yes, of course it's possible.
There are trillions of numbers. You're right, Mike. He picked a lower one.
Yeah, 125 in the grand scheme of things is a relatively small number. So of course it's possible to hit it, but maybe you won't. It's not the end of the world.
So
No,
I mean,
it really is, though.
if he's doing 125 with 5 minutes left, what is the goal next week? Because we're gonna have hours. Like, it's gonna be
I'm glad you said that, because what is a good job? He's like, hey, we've got $125 with 5 minutes left. That's a good job. So what would a bad job be? $10,000? Like the goal went up over time? What would a bad job be? Why is that a good job?
Who gives a fuck? Just everybody throw in. We'll knock this thing out. We'll call it a W, and we'll do our half hour. Steel Toe stays funded. We stay on the air. We get to, we get to pay Johnny. We get to pay Matt. Pay the fucking government.
I'm going to bring a guest host on and then say, hey, pay this guy because I can't. It's like, what? What?
Yeah, that's the thing is hey, guys, I've decided on my own to pay Hack Ride $70,000 a year.
Yeah!
And now you owe him that.
Clip it. DJ Electric, clip it.
Well, here's the thing. They
Another
owe
lawsuit
you.
coming, Mike.
they owe you that, and if we don't hit the goal, then you can't get paid, and it's all their fault.
Oh, goddamn.
So that's the issue, Hack Ride. I'm sorry. Or case of the day, whatever.
Circular logic got me.
Yeah.
Which is always nice because they do so much for us. But 125
For us.
is the number. Please and thank you. Let's don't make me get too beggy and weird. I fucking hate it. It's
He thinks he's Ron Swanson at certain
Okay,
points.
so this is how it was. Yeah, right. This is how it was presented to me when Carl mentioned it to me. Is he's clearly watched all these videos, whether it's Patrick Melton or Carl or Tukey or me or whoever. He's watched someone, if not multiple people, making fun of how cringy the goal is. He thinks that the problem is that he's too cringy when he asks for your money. The problem is all of it, Aaron. You're not acknowledging, the whole setup, you're not doing it well. I think there's a way to have a goal and sustain it and make it fun for the audience. Just having your hand out isn't it. So that's the problem. And him going I don't want to be too beggy, but we have to hit the goal. That's exactly what you're trying to get away from what people are making fun of. You're doing exactly what they are making fun of.
Absolutely. And doing us, though, a great service, because then we can then use you to say, hey, look at us e-bag in a funny way, not like this guy. So literally, you're helping everyone else. Thank you.
Right.
Terrible. Just support the show. Throw in a few bucks. We've done 4 hours of really good stuff for you today. We've got 4 minutes left.
Oh, you get to decide that. I didn't. You get to decide how much I've enjoyed. Guys, I've been on here for 6 fucking hours today, and it's been really awesome.
So awesome. We're $125 short.
I haven't repeated a lot of the same takes that I've had. Craig wasn't shitting on air with a sicky wicky voice. We didn't have to restart a stream earlier because we were fucking up. It's actually been really great, and we've decided that for you.
Yes, there was no fuck up, by the way.
That's what I'm saying. I just said that. Yeah, no, we didn't do all that stuff.
I'm just reiterating your point. There was no fuck up.
No, I agree. All that stuff didn't happen.
And the more we say it, the more it didn't happen. You understand? Right.
Yes,
We got to start a rally. Otherwise, I'm sitting here with my dick in my hand repeating the same 5 things over and over, which is always...
Aaron, that's your choice.
Always really fucking embarrassing. 125 is the number. This won't take much, guys. Let's get a move on. Streamlabs,
I'll tell you
PayPal,
exactly what it'll take. It'll take $125.
Get a move on, folks.
He keeps saying it won't take much. When he says, let's start a rally, he's implying that if I give $10, then DJ Electra, who's also in the chat, will go, oh, I didn't realize Blind Mike was here and he could give $10. Then you know what? Maybe I'll give $10. And then 10 other people go, hey, Mike and Electra are each giving $10? What the hell? I'll give $10.
Yeah.
That's what he thinks a rally is. No, what you're asking for, if you break it down, Aaron, what you want is one person gives you $125 because you decided to podcast today.
Venmo, super chats, Rumble rants.
We
memberships.
know.
Can't
If he
lose
started
by
like
120.
eating really hot chicken wings and he was crying and sweating and drooling, I might give super chats, but
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is like I think
does
there needs
nothing.
to be consequences or something. Like there's a way to do it, but Aaron's not figuring it out.
right.
Yes, if you give that 125, I'll hug myself a little more. That's basically all we're getting.
Yeah.
25, that puts us in a bad spot.
Bad spot.
Bad spot.
My kids won't eat.
It puts us in a bad, like we're like, fuck. This fucks up the rest of the month for us if we don't hit the goal today.
You saw last time we didn't hit the goal. My kids were eating cocaine. Come on, we need the goal, people.
That's true, yeah.
All right, this is called devastating on all fronts.
Well, I mean, this is guys, I kind of tricked you. I'm going to admit it now. I got everyone all excited. You thought we were going to hit the goal today, didn't you?
I planned on it, yeah.
Well, just play it. I don't want to be the bearer of bad news. I'll let Aaron tell you about it.
But it was only 125. We had 5 full minutes. Oh,
I know. And I thought someone was going to start a rally. It was really doable. You remember the whole spiel. But
Benjamin with
hanging around.
Hanging around. Knock out the fucking goal. 99 cents from Benjamin. Come on, guys. Start a little.
What is going on here?
Little rally. I don't want to lose.
99 cents. That's what he refers to as a rally, by the way. That's a foul tip at best. And he's like, we're rallying.
That's a funny super sticker. Whoever sent that, kudos.
99 cents.
Because it's red. And he's like, we're there. Go. Oh, you asshole. He got him.
It's a shitty way to start the week. And plus, it's always deflating when you feel like you've done a really good show and you've played to your audience really well. And then they're like, yeah, fuck you. We're not giving you any money. It's like,
He's guilting you. He's guilting us. Saying like, I did my part today, guys. Where were you? I stepped up.
Chat is saying that if he punched himself in the face for every super chat, that they might give more.
He'd be a millionaire.
Yes.
That's what we're saying.
Yeah, if Aaron, I won't do that because I try to keep whatever ounce of dignity I have left. So I'm not really interested in doing that. At least not yet. Maybe one day I'll have to.
Oh, please.
But Aaron, why is what you're doing right now different than saying, hey guys, if you give me $10, I'll slap myself in the face. If you give me $100, I'll punch myself in the nuts. Like, why is that any different from what you're doing? Like, just do that. Then people might be interested.
You just nailed it. He just needs to, when the show's over, he needs to climb up, get in the dunk tank, and say, hit the goal, people.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. Hit the goal,
Spin
people.
the wheel. Whatever
Dunk
the
me.
consequence wheel lands on today, Aaron does if we hit the goal.
But do you see the subtle manipulation is exactly how he manipulated, people in his personal life? It's the same.
You think?
Don't change.
No, listen, I know he uses this with us, his close friends. You think he would do this to someone like April? I find that hard to believe.
Yeah, I mean, she literally. You have to be so bad to drive your woman into the hands of a crazy drug-addled, child-abusing crackhead. Like, just imagine that.
Well, we've got clips about that too that we'll get to in a minute. So we're in luck. But guys, Aaron did his part. He gave you a 4-hour, really fucking good show, man. Every second of it was so great. People were talking to me. Again, I hate to keep bringing up this wedding I was at, but it's amazing how many coincidences there are. Where people are coming up to me at the wedding and they're like, "Did you hear Steel Toe on Monday? Oh, was this guy great?" The one thing I felt bad about is I couldn't donate. And I grabbed that guy by the collar and I said, "You're part of the fucking problem, man. You're the problem. Why did you do this to us?"
shit. But this is the only way I can do it. All right, guys. 3 minutes. 3 minutes to go. And
you're right. He's like, guys, Daddy's going to go away. If you guys, I don't know. I guess if you guys don't clean up your room, I guess Daddy can have moved to an apartment downtown. You won't see him as much anymore.
Yeah,
I picked. Oh, Erwin, please, we'll be good. Here's $125.
Yeah, like, oh, I picked you up at that manufacturing place, and look at this great life you have, and all this. I could put you back over there unless you do what I want.
Started no rally. Well, Benjamin started the rally with 99 cents. But let's start this in a meaningful way, guys.
Did he, Benjamin? Good job.
Don't be unmeaningful. Like, you know the old phrase, every cent counts. Not when it's this dickhead Benjamin.
As Stuttering John says, and where am I gonna spend all that?
Yeah, that's what you're doing, Aaron. But by saying all the people that donated, I guess that's not good enough. That's who's watching your show, dickhead.
Guys, everybody jump in. Come on. Throw us money. This is the begging part. This is the part where we go, we're $125 not good enough to be doing this for a living. Pity fuck us so we can stay on the air.
I'm sure April's heard that same line before. Hey-o.
Have some respect for yourself, Aaron.
Pity fuck me, Mike. Come on. When's the last time we all say that to people?
Why are you doing that? I've been desperate in my life, but I've never just flat out said, all right, just give me a fucking hand job, lady. Come on. I'm a sad sack of shit. Just tug me off.
And if Stuttering John could just add this little element into his game, where yes, I'm a piece of shit. I need it. It would be a little bit different.
If you could combine Aaron and John, you would make the perfectly trolled human being.
We're building a Frankenstein lolcow. Yes.
Yeah.
The thighs of John and the brain of Aaron. Here we go.
That's about what this is saying. 125 is the number. I'm embarrassing myself. I'm humiliating myself right now.
Oh, in so many ways, Aaron. Oh, in so many ways.
Aaron, you set up your show to humiliate yourself. It's not like it's a thing that's just randomly happening. You've structured it that way.
He structured his life this way. Hey, go fuck that guy and let me watch. I mean, he's a cock. He's a real life cock. I've never met a real life cock. This is amazing.
It's like if every morning I put a rake in front of my doorstep. Every day I stepped on it. And was like, guys, why aren't you paying me? I'm stepping on rakes for your amusement. Like, I don't know, you're doing it to yourself. Who gives a fuck?
If the skirt did that, she'd be my favorite person ever.
Well,
please throw in a couple of bucks and let's try to hammer this thing out and do an extra half hour today. I don't want to start 125 behind the 8 ball. It would be nice if we...
That would be devastating.
Then
what does the rest of our week look like?
You got 8 ball in. Good job.
But here's what you're not, you can laugh and joke all you want. Like, this is fun and games, asshole. But what you're not understanding, Casey, maybe if you grew up and lived in the real world, you'd understand. Instead of hitting your fucking sound drops, you would understand that if we start on Monday, 125 behind the goal, do you understand what that does to us the rest of the week? So keep laughing, joke boy. But I live here in reality, where I can't afford to start the week down $125.
We could just keep it up and keep her going. 2 minutes and 20 seconds to go. Now I'm sweating. Yep, the flop sweat's
I can imagine. We all are, Aaron. Everyone, let's all take our shirts off. Electra, you start.
The stress sweats. You guys have done great all day. I appreciate it. Just be here when you need us right at the end. I'm going to put the link. I hate this part where I just keep putting the links in. It's so fucking cringe and terrible.
Aaron, you're doing it. You're doing this. It would be like if I was like, oh, I'm so embarrassed by my outfit today. I put it on. What the fuck are you talking about? This is what you do every day, and now you've noticed a few shows making fun of you, so you're like, oh my God, it gives me the heebie-jeebies when I do this. Oh, I cringe so much. I don't like when I put the link in the chat. But, just to be clear, Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Rumble rants.
Yes, clearly just like trying to, this is a little PR move, but we ain't changing the system. We need to hit that goal.
Damn straight.
Oh, I think I'm getting ready to be done. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. I need this 125.
That was,
I need this.
Boy, to your point, Hack Ride, of imagine if this is what he's doing to us as far as manipulation. What is he like in his marriages where he's like, oh, I guess maybe I'll have to leave forever then.
Maybe someone won't unlock the top of the hot tub tonight.
Well, if you don't do what I want, maybe I'll kick you out of my house and you won't get to see the kids anymore.
We're not going to go to that shooting event that you wanted to go to. just everything, just total control over her life.
Poor Aaron.
Yeah.
Win. Johnny got a raise. Matt got paid.
So you guys owe me. It's like Aaron's going to the CEO and being like, I gave everyone a raise, so give me more money. And they're like, what? I didn't sign off on any of this. What the fuck are you talking about?
That is a great excuse.
Be able to
I just doubled Electra's salary. Guys, pay up. Pay up.
afford this fucking shit, guys.
2 times nothing.
Oh,
Aaron,
God.
I know dick about business. I'm not a good businessman by any means. A little nugget I could pass along to you, though, if I can tell you one thing. One thing I might know that it seems you haven't grasped yet. If you are doling out raises, if you're divvying up the funds for each month, if you're giving people raises, I would make sure that you make enough money to be able to pay those people. Otherwise, where did you think the money was going to come from? How did you think you were going to pay them if you didn't have that money? Perhaps was it an empty promise in order to encourage people to donate to you? I don't know what that would be called exactly. Maybe manipulating your audience into paying you more so that you could keep these guys around, which it seems like maybe they're kind of at their wits' end with you and maybe don't want to deal with it anymore. So you had to figure out a way to keep them. I don't know. This is all speculation.
The one thing that you hit on is there's a billion fun ways to do the goal, and he found the one non-fun way to do the goal.
The completely joyless, cringe-inducing way.
As joyless as the sex between him and April, probably.
We're less than 2 minutes away. Really? Nobody? Was it that bad of a fucking show? Did we suck that fucking bad?
Why?
I don't think so.
He made $200. He made $200 in super chats.
I've never looked at, I don't know exactly how. The only way I have to tell what we made on super chats is by you guys reading them and just in my mind being like, that was a lot of super chats or not a lot of super chats today. I've never gone into the analytics and been like, oh, we got more super chats today. That must have been a really good show.
Oh.
No, I judge based off how I feel about it because it's my fucking show. Now, if I'm drastically wrong, if everyone in the comments was like, this sucked horribly, and I'm like, boy, I thought that was really good, I might examine that for a minute, but I wouldn't judge based on how many people send me $3 to insult me how good the show is that day. Act like you've done a show, Aaron. When you were in radio, did you base how good your show was off of how many calls you got? It doesn't make any sense to live life like that.
Not at all.
I think so.
Jesus Christ, I thought it was a good show. You've proven me wrong. 125 away, a minute and a half left. I don't know what else I can say to you.
Time is moving, baby.
The other thing is 90% of the people that now know Steel Toe know him from the goal.
Yes.
And so none of us know what the 4-hour show, and none of us ever will, because you have
the guy that hits the goal. I know him.
You've
Why is he talking about politics?
Any future audience, because this is what you do. We're not going to sit around and watch 4 hours of what you do before the goal. No.
Yeah, no, I know like Patrick Melton and Chad Zumach. I know that. Well, I don't know about Chad anymore, but I know like Patrick is interested in other aspects of Aaron, which we will get to a little bit because this one clip did catch my eye. But for the most part, I'm just fascinated by the goal, and I could do it every day. Yeah. Because, guys, I don't know if you noticed, every time we've played a clip, 30 seconds have ticked off of each 10-second clip we play somehow. But we're getting pretty fucking close. We got like a minute and a half left to hit this fucking goal. So get ready. Get your pocketbooks out.
I got my flop sweat. God damn you, Aaron. Here we go.
Throw in.
Here we go.
A couple of fucking bucks. Nobody even wanted to start the goddamn rally. Oh, my God. A minute and 20 seconds.
God, do you not hear? There's only a minute 20 left. Enough dilly-dallying. Come on, guys.
It's like he went to one marketing meeting, and that marketing meeting is like, give them a something, a countdown, give them. And that's all he heard. He didn't hear the give them entertainment before. He just heard give them the bullshit at the end.
Say. Aaron should play like the 24, you know, the clock they used in 24?
Yes.
He should play that sound effect every day. It would add a sense of urgency. Like we're like, oh fuck, the goal is about to be met.
Away. It's not. I mean, I'm not trying to laugh. It's not funny. 125 is not a good way to start the week. Oh boy. All right. Well,
Hold on. I didn't even catch that. You just said, oh boy. I don't think I caught that the first time. Can you rewind like 10, 15 seconds? I want to hear that again.
25 away, a minute and a half left. I don't know what else I can say to you to convince you to throw in a couple of fucking bucks. Nobody even wanted to start the goddamn rally. Oh my God. A minute and 20 seconds away. It's not, I mean, I'm not trying to laugh. It's not funny. 125 is not
good.
A
I'm glad you
start,
said that, Aaron, because I was, for a second, I was like, is this motherfucker joking about the goal? Like, is he, listen, I'm all for, you can, I think you can make light of cancer and the Holocaust and 9/11 and all these horrible things, but like,
clip it.
I'll tell you where I draw the line, and that's if this motherfucker is going to joke about the goal. Like, that is my listen, you smug cocksucker. I know you're my leader, but at the end of the day, I'm not here for you, Aaron. I'm here for the goal. So if you're going to have the audacity to tell a joke about it, I'm out. Do you understand me? I'm not donating another cent until you fucking apologize for joking about the goal. Oh, you did. Oh, good. I'm glad. I'm glad you realized what a horrible error you made. He goes, I don't mean to joke. It's not funny. Aaron, you set an imaginary goal and didn't hit it. You think that's beyond? You're a shock jock. You think that's beyond mockery? We shouldn't make fun of that?
Away. It's not, I mean, I'm not trying to laugh. It's not funny. 125 is not a good way to start.
There's nothing to make light of, quite frankly. I'm glad you're not making sport of this very serious issue.
It's a tragedy, Mike.
The week.
You know what it is, Casey? I think there's a little thing called too soon. And maybe in a couple of weeks, definitely in a couple of months. I'm not some prude. I'm not an uptight asshole. In a couple of months, we'll be able to look back and laugh at this day. But like, not when we're in the moment, okay, man?
No,
we're
in the danger of Gilbert Godfreying ourselves here.
Yeah, like, listen, I'm sure people will have funny bits about that the shooter trying to take out Donald Trump. We'll all be able to laugh about. But the day of, Aaron, that's a little crass. Even for me. Okay, so let's not joke about the goal while it's happening. Give it some fucking time, man.
Yes, Aaron, the goal can hear you.
Boy. All right. Well, 1 minute and 10 seconds left. J-Bra, that's very funny. And no.
Okay. The goal is his iPod. his
Goal? Is that you?
He has a relationship with Goal.
It is. He's hearing from God, his Lord and Savior right now. Oh, Goal. We're not going to hit you today, but you are making some wise cracks, and I appreciate you keeping it light.
And 3 days later, The Rock moved, and Goal rose from the dead.
Oh, Goal. Even we don't make you happy, you managed to keep it lighthearted. Oh, I appreciate you so much for that. Oh dear, Goal.
We'll see you tomorrow, Goal.
All right, 1 minute to go. I don't think we're going to...
10 seconds.
I don't think we're going to make it.
Well, they're on different time clocks, apparently.
I don't know if that's Johnny Crutches or the other one. Matt.
Yeah, it's
Johnny Crutches.
Yeah. He's like, 10 seconds, get me out of here. He's like, nope. We got a whole minute till the goal.
I like that they're like, just whatever, man. Let's get fucking on with this. Have some goddamn dignity.
I got real problems over here, Goal Man.
Yeah, Aaron, your co-host can't walk. There are real things in the world. This man is crippled. And you're like, God, I guess we're not going to... Johnny Crutches, can you imagine anything so horrifying as not hitting the goal? Do you think his goal was to live a life on crutches, Aaron?
Johnny looked behind him and he only saw one set of footprints because Goal was carrying him.
There's some goals that Johnny Crutches probably hasn't met, that he's not harping on every day.
Throw in a little bit. Fucking
Come on,
hell.
guys, let's do it.
It's like the worst stripper ever. Just throw dollars at me. Come on. You see this pussy? Throw dollars at this pussy.
What's weird is he'll do that. Like, he ranges emotions where he's like, I guess we fucking suck today. I guess I'm just a big, dumb, idiot loser. Fuck me, I suck. Come on, gang. What do you say? Let's all do it for the toe. Like, so what is this roller coaster you have us on?
That's very confusing for a 24-year-old girl. Very confusing.
Sure is.
To watch this shit for free every fucking day. I get it. We're failures. We suck. We're barely hanging on.
We're running the gamut of coping, depression symptoms.
Yes, he went through all 12 steps in like 2 seconds. It's amazing. Didn't happen to happen. I hate it. It's great.
Help us out, for Christ's sake. Oh, man. The haters in the chat are really happy today.
Oh, yeah.
I don't understand being...
I got to say, I'm probably one of the haters you're referring to. I don't care if... This is Michael Geary, the man that Stuttering John is suing. It's not the character Blind Mike. I'm going to break character for a second.
Okay.
I don't give a fuck if we hit the goal or miss it. I just enjoy the ride, brother. You know? That's just me. Now, really, Blind Mike is back. And I'm going to say that I get fucking so juiced up to hit this goal. It's the only thing that matters to me.
Oh, God.
So I'm with you, Aaron. We're going to hit this cock-sucking motherfucking goal, whether they like it or not.
Oh, God, we're going to be here for days next week.
I'm not obsessed.
I can just hear you doing this. And no one giving us just 99-cent super sticker after 99-cent super sticker.
I can't wait.
With a show, but I do appreciate you loving me that much and needing me that badly. Guys, we're 125 away. We got 30 seconds left. Fuck you. I'm just doing the 30 anyway, but we got to hit it. I don't want to.
Hold on. I thought, now I lived in a world. Now here's where I'm getting really pissed, Aaron.
What the fuck?
I lived in the world where we could at least look to the goal for some stability in life. I said, God, every day is such chaos, you know? You never know. You could step out the door and you don't know if that's going to be your last day on earth. Who the fuck knows? Life is so fragile. It could be ripped away from you in an instance. And you look at the political climate right now. What is real? What's fake? What's tomorrow bring? Nobody knows. But the one thing I had every day, it was not just the goal, Aaron. And that's what you're not fucking understanding. All right? Buster, are you listening to me? What you're not understanding, Aaron, is it's not just about the goal, but what the goal represents. And when we hit the goal, we hit bonus time, all right? But when we don't hit the goal, we should be punished. Do you understand me? And these motherfuckers will never learn if we just give them bonus content without hitting the goal. So, Aaron, sack up. Enough bullshit. Do you hear me? Because we got to hit the goal or else we have to pay. If we aren't paying with our wallets, we are paying in loss of content. Or I don't know what the fuck to believe anymore.
God damn. Preach, brother.
All right, Aaron. For the next time, these cock-sucking pricks don't hit the goal, you rip the rug right out from under him and you say steel toe is over until the next time we hit the goal. All right? I will turn this car around. Oh, that was so depressing when he said, well, we didn't hit the goal, but we're just going to do it anyways.
And that's the cuck coming out. Like he just in the end, he's going to sit and watch you fuck his wife. He doesn't.
Yeah,
he ain't leaving the room. He's just gonna sit there. He ain't gonna complain about it.
You'll appreciate this analogy, Casey. It's like, the Lakers didn't advance in the playoffs, but LeBron would be better for ratings, so they're just moving on. It's like, what? I invested my time in watching this series. Why would you do that to me?
That's a great. But they did win the in-season tournament. Let's congratulations for the Lakers. It's
very
horrible.
important.
I fucking can't stand them right now. All right.
I don't want to lose by 125. Guys, if you could throw in, that would be nice.
Well, what's the fucking point of anything anymore, dickhead? I believed in you, Aaron. And then you go and pull some horse shit like this.
He just took all the chips off the table. Like, we're not even playing a game anymore. Like, we were playing a game. We pay. You play. Now he just took him off the table, and now he's like, still pay.
5 minutes ago when we started counting down, I had something to live for. And you've ripped that away from me, Aaron. And now I don't know what to believe.
Yeah, you're getting me mad about it, Mike.
To go. Streamlabs, PayPal, Super Chats, Venmo. Fuck me to death. Well, At least I proved once again, if you
I think Nick Rekieta did that last thing, but hey.
don't fucking get on your hands and knees and beg for it, it ain't coming.
Why is all his terminology cuck talk? Everything he talks about, I'm on my hands and knees blowing dudes.
Even beyond the bizarre imagery he's created, he's saying that what he's proved today, if nothing else, from the clips we just heard, what he has proved is at least you should have less dignity and beg throughout the entire show. That's what he thinks he's proved today. That's his great takeaway.
That is true.
All right. Well, that's the end of it. I'm going to trust you guys to hit the 125.
How you trust us? Aaron, I got news for you. We don't trust you anymore, you piece of shit. And now I turned my back on you.
What is even a goal anymore? I don't even know.
Trust works two ways, my friend.
You can't worship the goal and then slide the goal off the table when it suits you.
No, it was very, very upsetting.
Yes.
I'm just doing the half hour. I don't want to fucking be depressed and start shitty this week.
Well, then you know what, Aaron? I'll just walk outside naked. What's the point of any rules in society? You know? Maybe I'll start walking around in my hands. We're human beings. There are rules to things. And the rule is goal equals bonus time. No goal, I don't even have to say it. It's obvious.
You know, I think he needs to put some reverse stakes on this. If you don't reach the goal, the $200 that was paid is refunded. That's right, folks. If we don't hit the goal, it all goes back.
I'm fucking pissed right now. You make your jokes. I'm furious.
Brian M. becoming a member for 26 months. Great show. Sorry, I'm broke right now. You hate it when we tell you that, but I mean, everybody must be fucking broke because we made jack shit at the end of the fucking show.
Aaron, the guy is pleading with you and saying, Aaron, I like you. I just don't have any more money to donate to you. I've given to you every day, and I'm a little tired. And I need to buy coffee for myself tomorrow. And I need to keep the lights on in my own home. So please, could I go one day without paying you? And Aaron's like, I guess you like the rest of these scumbags.
But I'll still do the time for you. Which makes all the sense in the world. All right, here we go. This one is called... I always forget the names of these things. Pride.
Oh, good. Well, if we could learn pride from one man, I suggest to Aaron Imhold.
Yes. When I see Aaron Imhold, I think pride.
Yes.
A flag. Pride.
It's a very proud man. Yeah, well, that's true.
Joe, I'm going to hope that you guys keep us going. I'm going to do the half hour of overtime because my pride won't let me lose by 125.
Yeah, that's the problem. The ultimate problem here is the man has too much goddamn pride.
Yeah. Overabundance of hair dye and pride, this man.
If you watch these clips, you would say, I know what his problem is. He's got too much fucking self-respect.
You nailed it.
Just a fucking dagger to start the week. I know I'm just going to be in a mood for like a half hour. So I'd rather just sit on the show and try to make some money.
Can you imagine the days he didn't hit the goal and then the show ends and he's just sitting there with that wife of his with this attitude? That's the show.
You bitch. We didn't hit the goal because of you. This was your fault, April. You whore.
April, if you're out there and you hear this and this is true, contact us. We'd love to know.
You bitch. Why did you do this to me?
You know she got the blame. You know it.
Why did you prevent me from hitting the goal, you fucking slut?
I like 6 hour podcast, Mike. You're fun in your 6th hour. Let's keep this going.
Then fucking just sit around stewing that I failed and that we fucked up and that we, who knows when this thing could be fucking like too many of these days and it's just fucking, well, we'll keep shaving points, I suppose. Go ahead, guys. 125 is the number. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo. Throw us some money. Make it happen. Let's go ahead and do some stories, hang out with you guys for a half hour, and if we fail, I'll just take it off tomorrow. What do you do?
What does that mean? If we fail, you're done?
These rules are changing all the time, Mike. I can't
is he saying, okay, so now in overtime, the money they get will be taken off tomorrow's goal? Why? You hit today's
spreadsheet.
You didn't hit today's goal. Aaron, we shouldn't be rewarded for our failures now. We were bad, and you need to punish us.
He's incentivizing the wrong things.
This is all very confusing.
You fucking do. I just thought somebody would fucking start a little bit of a rally. Fuck. That's depressing.
Stop saying rally.
Just
Stop saying rally. Stop saying rally.
Loves me.
makes me feel like I did a shitty job. Yeah. Oh, here's the drone story.
Oh, good. Glad we can
Thank
get
God
to
for
that
overtime.
now. Yeah, I'm glad. You know what, Aaron? You're a benevolent ruler because despite the fact that we weren't bad, that we were very bad. I'm sorry that we should be punished. You're still giving us the drone story. It's very exciting.
This one's called April. I think we're getting into some.
Okay, so now this is a couple days later, and he's talking about a chatter, which, mind you, it's always best to go off the information that the chat is giving you, just completely blindly. You should react to everything immediately. Whatever pops in your head, just react that way. You should be fine. And this is how he reacts when he hears some news about April.
Snigger Niggardly says, please address April's...
Hold on a second.
What? That was a sneak attack.
That's a guy you should definitely trust. If I know one thing about this gentleman, whose name I shan't say,
I am not trying it. No.
he's a delightful gentleman, and he's always got reliable intel, so you should definitely trust him.
Krager's got the name on the first try. It's amazing.
Snigger Niggardly says, please address April's cringy, shameless, sympathy harvesting Instagram post about some little girl who died a few years ago. Was this Devin's relative to deflect from the drug charges? No, she is not.
I've never seen something so authentic.
You hear him go into acting mode. Yeah, is this Instagram post of April tweeting about a dead kid, blah, blah, blah. Wait, no!
No.
Why?
You miss the body language, too. He does that with the body, too. So it's like he's all hugging himself, and then he, like, breaks free.
To deflect from the drug charges. No! She is not using that little girl's death to deflect from her fucking felony charge. Oh, that is shitty.
Hold on, by the way. So it's like, it sounds like April posted on the anniversary of this girl's death, like a rest in peace thing. Like, it's sad that this little girl. Remember, the point of this story is that a little girl died. So just keep that in mind as Aaron makes comparisons to other situations.
No, she is not using that little girl's death to deflect from her fucking felony charge. Oh, that is shitty, especially considering the things she's said over the years. Oh, that is
Hold on,
dog
was April,
shit.
did I miss something? Was April charged with a felony?
So yes. So she was initially charged, and then those charges were dropped. I don't know how I know this shit. I'm actually offended at myself.
Originally she was charged, but yeah, she's not facing anything now.
Nope. She got recharged because I guess the prosecutors looked into why are these guys getting a tattoo at a tattoo festival together if it's just a live-in nanny, and then they found out they're a couple and she's the live-in and she's responsible. So yes, she was recharged.
Oh, okay, I didn't realize that. Oh,
Also,
so it's back on.
Yes, but also probably because Rekieta got her, after she got out of jail and had no charges, and he got to her and he's like, don't say anything, don't talk to him. And so they're like, all right, we didn't charge you because you were going to talk to us. Now talk to us. And she's like, no. And then they're like, all right, well, here's your charges back.
Oh, okay, I didn't realize that.
Yep. And so she probably won't be charged. They're just going to force her to talk.
I will say, okay, so that changes my take on it a little bit because I didn't realize she still had charges pending. But I don't think investigators would look at her Instagram and be like, "Oh, she posted about a dead kid. I get we should just drop him. Not a big deal."
Yeah, that's not going to work.
She lost 3 stepkids because of her drug abuse, and then she helped lose 5 other people's kids because of her drug abuse.
Okay, hold on.
Whoa.
I owe Aaron and Nick Rekieta my sincerest condolences. I didn't realize April murdered all 8 of their children.
Jesus, a serial killer.
That is,
damn.
You know what? Jokes aside, frankly, that's horrible.
It is.
I didn't realize.
And then she did it with a bow, an arrow. Hey.
He keeps saying she lost these children. They're all still alive, Aaron. You realize that, right?
The innocence is lost, Mike. The innocence.
I understand. I understand the innocence is gone. But she posted about how sad it is that a kid died, X amount of years ago on this day. Like, is she looking for sympathy? I don't know, April. Maybe. Probably. Who knows? But does it have anything to do with you as much as you might want it to? Probably not. Probably not. I know everything in their lives now. The only way Aaron has a show is if Nick Rekieta and April are relevant. But it doesn't mean everything they do can be traced back to Aaron in some sinister way, like they're trying to ruin him.
Drug abuse, and then she helped lose 5 other people's kids because of her drug abuse. And she's going to talk about someone being neglectful in the death of a young child. There was a toddler. I can't believe she would use this, but this is somebody else's family, not hers.
But I'll use it so that you guys feel bad for me for dealing with April.
Yeah, cognitive dissonance is what we call this.
Her ex-boyfriend had a sister who had drug problems, and her kid died on her watch. And there was no conclusive, criminal charges or anything to what happened, but April insists that the mom or the boyfriend had something to do with it. I can only go by what April's told me. And she says, well, it's because she was on drugs, and drugs are awful, and drugs are horrible, and drugs are bad, and drugs are this, and drugs are that. She's fucking hurt so many children because of her drug use, and now she's going to use a dead kid to try and deflect.
Whoa, Aaron, you're getting awfully worked up, and I can tell it's very genuine. So let me simmer you down a little bit. I think it is possible to be kind of a shitty step-parent and a little neglectful and maybe not as responsible as you should be. I think that it's possible to be that and also say it's a shame this child died in a totally separate instance. I think both things are possible from one human being. Now, again, if I looked more into like April, would I say she's a piece of shit? Maybe. That's very possible. But what Aaron is doing is trying to make himself the righteous one here, the good guy, the hero that tried to save all these people, and they just wouldn't listen. But it has nothing to do with him, this Instagram post. And by the way, he's reacting to a super chat from a gentleman whose name I dare not repeat.
No.
From her fucking felony charges? That's fucking disgusting, dude. That's really gross. That actually does upset me on a not performing for a podcast level. That's fucked up, dude.
Oh, so the rest of it is performing for a podcast, you're saying?
Yeah, well, thanks for letting us know. Not helping the goal, Aaron.
Kind of a weird admission there, but...
Snigger.
Oh, no, I almost had him say it again. Let's get that.
I think he does say it again.
No, it's just at the beginning he says
okay.
it. Craig cut it out. Probably kept it for himself personally.
Yes, Craig was practicing saying it. Oh, I can yell that out my car window.
It's his ringtone now. What are you talking about? All right, this one is called Sympathy.
Oh, well, I think we should have a lot of sympathy for the people involved here.
Absolutely.
I would think, as an outsider, definitely the kid that died that he's talking about. But maybe there are other people you should feel sympathy for.
Oh, my God. I never played that card with her. I never got to the point where I played that card with her, the little girl. I hope she didn't use the little girl's name in her post and use the name for sympathy.
No, that'd be terrible. What would be better, the one thing that would be acceptable is using this little girl's story on your podcast so that you can get sympathy for having to deal with all of these people. That would be okay. But if April used the name of a girl who she knew and she knew her family, but this, by the way, is not if I misunderstood this story, please correct me. This is not a celebrity child that died. It was a little girl that April knew. Yes?
Correct, yes.
Okay. So how dare April name this person she knows? But what is cool is talking about it on a podcast and exposing a family's horrible tragedy.
Still not helping the goal, Aaron.
That's true.
But, there was going to be a time in a fight where I was going to be like, what would so-and-so think of you right now? Knowing what she went through.
Wow.
Yeah, that's an amazing question.
I would never manipulate anyone, but I was going to use this against her one time. I was going to use the death of a child. I'm not a manipulative guy at all, by the way. Keanu was lying to all of you. But I was going to use the death of a kid to kind of throw it in her face and be like, huh? What do you think of that?
Yeah, there's some grossness here that I had not ever heard.
Yeah.
The goal is kind of the grossness I heard, and then I knew he was a bad
It's,
husband or whatever, but this is... Ugh.
I should shout out the channel that I found. I just found it randomly. Damn, I'm forgetting that it's not Stalin 19. I know it's not My Lost Interest. It's one of their competitors, so I shouldn't be naming them. But I forget. It's a channel that clips good stuff. I'll find it for when we do the official goal, and I'll shout them out.
Yeah, let me give one to you. A guy who covers Aaron really well is Dylan from Somewhere. So if you like this content...
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, a really great show. He breaks it down in his Nebushi kind of way. It's a really great show.
Check out Dylan from Somewhere.
Absolutely. All right, and here we go.
Wow, that honestly, dude, that's a new low. Did she really do that, Snigger? Because how would Snigger Niggardly know about that?
That's a good question, Aaron.
Black Twitter? Heyo. That's a good one. How would they know?
She really made an Instagram post using that poor little girl to deflect from her felony charges. What a piece of shit.
Hey, you said it, buddy.
She even put a GoFundMe on there for the family. What an asshole.
Oh, what a cunt.
They want to bury this kid. Ugh.
That's a Nick Rekieta level move right there. I've told you. God, I'm
It's good to bring that up for no reason.
So what do you mean? He took his pants off, you got on your knees? I don't understand the Nick Rekieta. That's the only way I know Nick Rekieta in your life, buddy.
Fucking right about these people.
He's so angry.
I'm sure you hate being so right, man. I'm sure that's the one thing you hate is when you're right.
The thing I hate, Mike, when I'm always right. DJ.
Oh, it really burns me up inside.
Yeah. All right, we got two more here for you.
Okay. This is a marathon.
Wow.
Jesus Christ.
It is, and it's been worth it, Mike. I was going to wake up and jerk off and do nothing today, but I'm here, and this has been awesome.
I appreciate you guys hanging with me. I think Electra bailed about 2 hours ago, but I appreciate you hanging around.
She's here. Yeah, she's here. She's just she's sitting across the room, maybe thinking of box eating dad or something. You know.
I understand that,
as we all do.
Wow, that honestly, dude, that's a new low. Did she really do that, Snigger? Because how would Snigger Niggardly know about that? She really made an Instagram post using that poor little girl to deflect from her felony charges. What a piece of shit. That's a Nick Rekieta level move right there.
Yes.
I've told you. God, I'm tired of being fucking right about these people.
Sorry, I had to listen to it one more time.
Grinds me up.
He's so mad at the end. Not performative.
I hate being right.
All right. So last one, a gift and a curse.
Oh, this is the struggle that Aaron deals with, where like, goddamn, the powers that I have, they come with consequences. And that's ultimately, if you dream of having extreme talent like Aaron, just know it's not all sunshine and roses, my friends.
To use a dead kid to deflect from your own bullet. Did I not tell you? God damn it, I'm tired of being right. Because I know I am, but I want to deny because the things I'm right about, I have to take into account really terrible, ugly fucking people's motives. And that's a really gross place to go. But when you're right, you're right. That's the sacrifice you make for wanting to live in a real, an honest world, a real world.
A real world. Of Aaron Imholt. We are at the end of it.
You're like Bruce Wayne. How do you do it, Aaron? You just sacrifice for the greater good.
Oh, God.
And we appreciate it.
So, yes, that last group of clips makes me want not to give to the goal. So, yes, we should have.
Yeah, right. Well, yeah, we got to see a little insight into maybe why the goal isn't hit on certain days.
That's what he's getting people to pay for. Pete, you guys paid $200 for that? Fuck you. Fuck you all who did that. How dare you? Give to Blind Mikey entertains you 10 times more than that.
Oh, thank you so much, buddy. Well, what you could do, and guys, I mean, we did a pretty fucking good show today. So if you want to repay me for it, the best way to do it would be going to blindmike.net and supporting us everywhere. If you want to become a member, get early access and bonus content, then make sure you go to Patreon or become a YouTube member. Or if you just want to support the show for free, we appreciate that as well. wherever you get podcasts, Apple, Spotify, YouTube. On YouTube, if you're watching on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. BlindMike.net is where you find all those links. We appreciate you. Craig was playing hurt today, so don't forget to go to verygoodshow.org and support the Craigophiles out there. And hackridethedemon.com. You want to tell the folks one more time about what you got going on, sir?
Yeah, sure. HackRideTheDemon.com. We got Unboxing Eric Fridays, and check it out if you like Eric, the actor from The Stern Show. And you got to watch it live because it gets taken down by Sirius, but it will be up tonight because they just ignore us, I guess, and then it goes back up. But we do have a few super chats here, Mike, that we should get to before we get out of here. All right. Hamilton Burger for $2. Fine, you Homer sexuals. Here's another $2. Well, thank you so much.
Well, you're getting us closer to the goal, and I appreciate that. I thought we did a phenomenal show. I thought we did a little better than $2 worth today, but whatever. That's fine. Where am I going to spend it all?
They're saving for next week, Mike. People, save your money for next week. We're going to need it. The goal is enormous. Mm-hmm. All right, we got magnesium linoleum for $5. Please use $3.50 of this for your goal. I'll secretly Venmo more to you if you don't reach it today. Oh, gonna have to Venmo us, magnesium.
Ooh, thank you, buddy.
Yes, and by the way, that is what YouTube gives us. So you did give us anything special there. They take $1.50 out. All right, but thank you so much for that. Oh God, did I just insult one of your? Anyway, I'm becoming like Aaron. Dang Lizard for $2 or €2 actually. How come I owe Hackride $70,000 a year now? FBM.
It's your fault, Dang Lizard. I thought he was doing such a good job that I gave him a raise, and you now owe him that.
That's right. I will
what
see you.
What do you want from me?
All right, we got Mikey for $1.99 for the goal. Thanks for the Blind Mike show.
Hey, thank you, buddy. I appreciate that.
We're getting there $1 at a time. We're doing it.
It's Mikey. Really funny when you guys do it $1 at a time. That makes me laugh, just like Aaron.
This is what's happening next week. Buckle up.
Yeah, I know.
Mikey, $1.99. I might do 100 of them myself. This is $2. You take home 140 of this. Cool. That's right. We do if we're lucky. If it wasn't an apple, we get a little more. Yes. And our final one of the day. Don't put anyone in there at the last second, folks. This is the final one. Dead Juice for $10. This is equal to about 10% of what the Duke is making now. Hey-o. F.
Oh, no.
Yes.
He's beat us again.
Yes, and that is all today, Blind Mike. Blind Mike, you have done almost 6 hours of podcasting today.
And the crazy thing is I want to do it again next week, too.
You're just an insane man. But thank you for calling me up out of the bullpen. I'm happy to help anytime, and that second show didn't happen. Yay.
Thank you, buddy. All right, let's get the fuck out of here, shall we?
All right, later. You guys have a wonderful day. Go to blindmike.net. Later.
Thank you.